fucked it again, didn't I? I always have my mic on mute on like the starting screen, and yeah, I always forget to turn it off. But Ian, I appreciate the resubscription, mate, on Twitch. Absolute legend. What's happening, mate? Shouldn't be off now. Mic should be good. Mic should be good. Peter, what's happening, mate? Jack, sorry. Not Jake. Jack McLaughlin. I said that right. It's a mouthful. What's happening? Dobbsy, no blooper chance today. Yeah. Tough day at the office. Tough day at the office today, mate. Dobbsy, sorry, are we saying hello? Easton, what's happening, mate? I can't still be muted, no? Yeah, all good now. Yeah, I thought so. Bunker, what's happening, mate? What's happening, lads? I was just kind of apologising for one being so sporadic to stream today. Well, I guess I gave you... When did we do? We put our stuff into the Discord. Yeah, yesterday, to be fair. But I didn't really give much notice on when I could stream today. But yeah, we're live, obviously. A little bit late in Europe, I guess, and the UK. But yeah, we should smash through it. I can't promise we get through everyone today / tonight. Hopefully we do, but I can't guarantee it. Time sometimes gets away from us, I guess. But Kubis, what's happening, mate? What's happening, pal? Scott, I appreciate that, Scott. I really, really do, mate. Hope you're well. That means a lot. Yeah, we've got gallery reviews today. A day or so late. We normally do them at the end of the month. It should have been the end of Jan. It's been an absolutely hectic week, to say the least, with 3 deadline streams and all sorts of other things. So, yeah, we're here today. Is it first today, isn't it? 1st of Feb? Yeah, 1st of Feb. So, yeah, we've got a ton of galleries to go through. So, I'm very excited to dissect those. I've just realised the PSV conceded 3 today. And, well, the game just finished. Which is, yeah, no bueno for them, is it? 3-0. No Boscagli effect coming to haunt them. Oh, look at that. Look at this, lads. Woo-hoo! The Flamingo. The Flamingo with an error led to goal. Same for Benitez. PSV stacks are mudded. The only two I say the only two. I own Mauro Jr., Saibari, and Ledesma. All scored okay, I guess, but I didn't play my Mauro Jr. It's going to kill me, that. It's going to kill me. Big Linson getting the equaliser. Love that. J-League legend, some would say. Bunker, how can I join the Discord? You join the Discord by becoming a YouTube member. I appreciate that, Pierre. I am now a literal dad. I am. It's confirmed. We've done the DNA test. Yeah, but no, we're here. Just bought tickets for Inter Miami Sport and CK. Gas is an understatement. That's amazing, mate. What date is that? Anyway, we'll probably make a start on things. I've got my laptop here to the right, so if I'm looking down, it's because I'm looking at my laptop. And yeah, before we... Oh, wow, Leo 4-1. Jesus. What's happening with Madrid, by the way? My boy Rodrigo with some nice AA. Same for Bells. I think it's the Vinny effect, isn't it? Something's just off there. Game's done. Wow. I've completely wasted Yamal this week, haven't I, already? Fucking hell, Karowny. How didn't I back Nico Williams? Well, I backed him, but not enough. Look at this. I played El Karowny in here. And he's absolutely done me a kipper. So has Tolu, by the way. Delange losing the clean sheet, 95th. Cheers, on 98th. Where's it to? Where is it to? Why can't I find it? Oh, I might have hidden it. I definitely did hit it. Definitely did hide it. So this one here. I did play Nico, just not where I should have done. I played him in D2, where he should have been obviously in here. That is just spewing, by the way. Absolutely spewing. I mean, I've got Ibarra to run, but absolutely horrendous that is. I hope I just wake up and see like a last man tackle or something. Something really spawny. What days, what's happening, mate? Gary, what's happening, pal? I got a Forest stack but chose the wrong captain. That is a killer, Neil. That is an absolute killer. Love the fact that I have an NEC stack but not a single T. My Mauro and De Jong in a lineup with Cham. Yeah, Cham was a tough one. I had a bad feeling about Cham. I played him in rare, but nowhere that good. Anyway, let's get into things. I'm waffling. Ian is first up. And Ian's question is, have I gone too far in Contender? Basically, all my galleries Contender for in-season and Classic. And should I trim it back and go more into 23 or even branch into Challenger? Since the last review in October, it's changed a lot. It's changed a lot to strengthen in season, which in turn has made me able to field 6 strong teams in Contender the last few weeks and started bringing in a bit of success. Let's have a look. So yeah, I know you have been transitioning big time over to Contender, be it in season and a bit of Classic. How many keepers we got then? Big Ron Robert. This guy, I'm guessing. Oh, did he start, this guy? I know you crafted him, but I guess he does he? Yeah, okay. Doesn't look great, but he's in season. 1, 2, 3. Maybe Padilla starts. We don't know, do we? Bowed out 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, yeah. So you've got. Oh, I'm Ross. Yeah, you've got more than enough keepers, don't you? Like you've got more than 6, basically, is what I'm getting at there. So yeah, I can't really see why you add more keepers, really. I'm seeing like 3 or 4 pages worth of good defenders, which again, for 6 teams, you want at least 12. You've probably got 16 to 20 then, maybe. Canales, Cuisance, Van Izek, okay. Yeah, just like the perfect, like I know there's a couple of Celtic cards in here, but like non-Celtic-y, Contender setup with, bits of under 23 sprinkled in just by nature, I guess. Heinetic, Benny Traore, Vicente, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I mean, you just have to look at the L5s and L5s and 15s sometimes. Like, you like you said, you do have an abundance of cards here. I don't know unless there's just like some random deals that pop up that you want to pounce on, but like I don't think I'd be sinking anything into it if I'm being honest. I think you're at a place where, like, those type of cards, I know we say it to everyone, I guess, but like you've got the chance to win with those type of cards. As simple as that. It's just obviously getting them into the right 5, which is we all know easier said than done. Odace just resubscribed as well, lads. I really do appreciate that. That means a lot. Did my Twitch thing come up on the screen, like the sub goal thing? Oh no, not the sub goal. We need the chat. Well, I guess we don't need the chat, but we'll get the chat up. Alert box should be working. Luke Haber's back from injury. Love that. Rieko boys absolutely destroyed me. Yeah, what happened? What's his name? Fruit got, what's it called? Didn't he? He got red carded. Shrew, what's happening, mate? Just come over after watching the Leo game. I chose wrong captain too. Mind you, I have to keep up with it. Yeah, exactly, mate. It's all on brand. All on brand. Yeah, it's a tough one, mate. I don't know. I'd sit still, to be honest. And as far as like pivoting, I would wait until you do have a couple of wins. Not to say you haven't had any at all, but I would just wait a little bit until a bit of cash starts flowing in, and then you go, you know what? Yeah, maybe I do fancy going, I don't know, MLS or under 23. You've played. I know you've definitely played under 23 before, and yeah, it's fine. It might be a little bit of just a bit on the side. It's a bit of a side piece if we're talking Sorare terms these days, isn't it? Under 23s, so. Just because like it doesn't have in season and stuff, so I don't know. If I was you, I would try and build up a little pot, and then maybe attack MLS or maybe attack Challenger or maybe attack under 23. But yeah, I don't think you need to buy more Contender, honestly, mate. I really don't. I think you've got more than enough there, mate. 100%. Okay, Sid's Galacticos. Is it time to start phasing out of some in-season cards with low utility and prepare for the 25-26 season? I might start with Premier League in-season as well, so ideally looking to move out of all Premier League Classic cards other than Salah. Let's see what you've got in Prem. I know you had a ton of La Liga. I didn't realise you had a ton of Prem as well. So you're saying you basically want to get rid of every Prem card outside of Salah, Isak, and Haaland, and maybe use them as your in-seasons next year, I guess. So yeah, what we got there, Flecken as a reward is pretty tasty. So you got Edison, Flecken. So you'd basically sell everyone here, wouldn't you? It's easy, a couple £100. You'd basically sell everyone here. So 30, 60, 70, 80, 120, 140. Yeah, probably about 270 quid's worth of defenders. Yeah, a couple £100 again. And then you said you're going to leave Haaland, Salah, Isak, okay. And then you go, yeah, and boy. I mean, maybe, mate, because it's a Brentford stack, right? Like, I'm no disrespect. Like, Brentford have been decent this year, but, like, you know, to be fair, their fixtures aren't terrible, really. Everton at home, Villa at home. Like, you can see things maybe happening there. Not many great fixtures around by here. Ipswich away, Fulham at home, maybe. But, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd probably start phasing that out, mate, to be honest. I would. Phase it out, keep the 3 smashers. What you get for all that, I'm just spitballing here. Let's just call it a grand. I don't know, maybe a bit more. Maybe I'm being a bit conservative there. But yeah, grand war chest to go into Premier League next season. Put it to the side to go alongside the 3, the 3 main lads there. I don't see much harm in that, honestly. I kind of like that, to be honest. I might start with Premier League in season as well. Yeah, I think that's the play. Lionheart, I appreciate the follow, mate. Daniel, what's happening, mate? I'm doing well, thank you, pal. Doing well. Andrew, hey, Harry. My Magdeburg boys done me well today, but is that El Karani or El Hankuri? Is that a different guy? Well, I could have chosen Berkey. That's a killer, mate. Absolute killer, and gutted for you, mate. Yeah, I think I am doing that. And also, I might get rid of the chat. Do I get rid of the chat? Is it a bit annoying? Put it up there, just nice and small, maybe. Out the way, kind of. So yeah, that's basically what I would do for sure. 100%. Right. K Flow. I still owe you the Yamal, by the way, K Flow. Okay, clean. I have just made the switch to play in season rares. I was sick of competing with everyone having the same team in limited. Do you think I have enough to compete and win rewards? I'm not looking to win a comp every weekend. Just want to compete on a moderate budget. Tried picking up a lot of championship players, as this is the league I know best. Well, yeah, I love that last line, Colleen, because like you said, you fancy yourself in a champ, which yeah, I love to hear it, mate. So in season Travers, that's a nice one. So he'll be in season to the end of the season. Big Verips, okay. So yeah, you haven't got unbelievable keepers. I rate Travis a lot, but Middlesbrough have had their problems. Henningket has just gone off injured today, I think, so that's a bit of a killer. So you basically got 2 in season goalies. El Karoni after today, he's fucking, I want to discard him. Colo's a really, really good defender to have. I love to see that. And then you got the Liège boys, okay. Yeah, excuse me, Humphreys. You've definitely got enough for 2 teams there, for sure. This guy scored really well today, didn't he? I'm sure I saw him score. Yeah, he smashed. Yeah, I saw that. Nice pickup. Brownhill was a DMP, wasn't he, for some reason? You got your Chamin. Magni's there, Rashika. I'd say you're a little bit light on mids, if I'm being honest. Like, there's only one player there with an L5 of above 60. I think you need a bit more. You've got, like, middle-of-the-road mids everywhere, but I think you need a bit of quality in midfield there to carry you to, like, the next level. Bander's obviously great. Merton's the same. Edwards just signed for Burnley, it looks like. Zam Fleming, okay. Big Dennis, he can score pretty well. Yeah, for 2 teams, you've definitely got enough forwards there. I just think you're a little bit lacking in mid. I'd say, like, chop off 2, 3, 4 of them and turn them into, like, 1 or 2 good mids. Like, I'm talking L15 above 60. Zorgan or whatever it is. I don't know whether his L15 is definitely above that, but you know what I mean. Okay, Gary said keep the chat. I will keep the chat. I didn't want to make it too big, though, but if you want it a bit bigger, I'm not opposed necessarily. Did you see Leeds? I did, mate. I'm from Cardiff, so I definitely saw that. But yeah, I think condense a couple of those mids and turn them into a half decent mid, basically, is what I'm working towards saying. I hope that makes sense. And you've obviously got a Yamal limited off me to come, so I'm sure that'll help with something if you were to sell it. Tom says, quick look over my challenger gallery. Only really care about in season. Sounds good. Why am I in the lineup builder? Lad, if we can leave a like on the stream, that would mean the absolute world to me. 51 of us watching. Please leave a like. Obviously, if you're on Twitch, then I don't think you can leave a like. But if you're on YouTube, please leave a like. It means a lot. And we just got a new follower. Condoozy. Appreciate that, mate. Appreciate that a lot. Okay. Man United, Tobe. Didn't mean to do that either. So, challenge season then. So, Casilla, Kousman. I don't really know what's going on there, but you've got the backup, so it doesn't really matter. Hansen's coming back. Rui Silva. Did he take over the starting spot, or did he lose it after? Oh, he's in and out. Okay. So, 1, 2, 3. Basically, 3 starting keepers. Like you said, you only care about in season, which is perfect. Simic. Svensson's just left, hasn't he? 2 Svensson. That's a bit annoying. Lucas Hayes, left but gone to Anderlecht, which is fine for you, I guess. Højbjerg, Muller-Wolf, Bardaki, Sikwe. Yeah, I mean, I would like to see a little bit more quality, honestly, in defence. Like, there's a decent amount, but there's not enough for me, especially over 3 lineups. Midfield's a lot better, a lot better. Vlap, Cham, Todd, Suzuki when he's back. Eggerli, however you pronounce his name. Obviously, Yari, Hazard, De Keizmaker when he's back fit. Visca, I like it. Dorgeles, good player. Osario, the same. Yeah, your mids are way stronger than your defence, I would say. Mids look fine. Banza, love it. Nygren, shredded up. Stroikens looks to be back. Brahimi, love it. Carlo Holzer, old season, that's fine. Marcus Edwards, nice little maybe Burnley card there. Dahlberg, we know he can do the business now and again. And Simsio, we know what he can do. Matson, maybe. Yeah, I mean, you don't need as many forwards. I'm more than happy with your forwards. I just think you're lacking a little bit in defence. A little bit. Like, there's a couple of good ones, but I just don't know how trustworthy a ton of them are. When I say a ton, I mean, like, say 5 on a given weekend. I think I'm looking at, like, 2, 3 that I'd be like, oh, yeah, I definitely want to play him, you know? So, yeah, that's where I'm at, Tobe. Hope that makes sense. Yotza. Do you see any obvious weak points in my gallery? If so, do you have any suggestions? Main focus is contender, challenger in season. Let's have a look. Contender, challenger in season. Let's see what we got cooking, mate. Trubin, Costa, Roof. Yeah, you've got all the keepers. Well, I say all. You've got a decent amount of keepers. Especially, they're quite condensed, but you've got some real quality there. That's a real killer. Buscagli has just been announced injured today. Big DMP in challenger. So yeah, your best 2 defenders are dust, basically, which is really tough. Watanabe, love it though. Altomendi, Inacio, Alcarawni. After today, I don't like him, but I do like him. I'm only messing. Dean James, the Bass, Perez. Yeah, you're in the realm. You've got Obispo, so he'll replace Buscagli, but obviously just not the same level of output as we know. For 2 or 3 teams, you've probably got enough there, just about. Even without the Buscagli. So you've got the PSV boys, Sporting, Zorgan, Haspalat, Ledesma, Hainan, Bracagna, okay, Cherry. For 3 in season lineups, yeah, probably enough. Definitely enough, actually. Gyökeres, Trincao, De Jong, Di Maria, Harda, Titrauni, Kamato, Tadic. Yeah, okay. Again, there's not really too much outside of that you'd be really interested in playing. Like, you've got arguably the best couple of forwards in Challenger. For me there, you're obviously unlucky with the Buscagli injury, but I don't see much that needs a ton of improving. Couple of Caspers, yeah, you're stacked in Contender. Absolutely stacked. Stacked again. Maybe start looking when the collection thing comes in. Like, as far as, like, I don't know how many collection bonus you have on. Like, what do you have Celtic at? Is it, okay, you got 5%. Why don't you buy a couple of duplicates? I know you've already got the Casper duplicate, but, like, maybe buy a couple of other smashers. Alistair Johnson, Cameron Carter-Vickers, for example. Maybe buy duplicates of those to go with the other Casper. I think that could probably do you pretty well. What have I done wrong here? Midfielders. There we go. Big Shaq, Barco, McGregor. So, like, maybe another McGregor, potentially. Or whoever. Engels. Name your Celtic mid. Can't really... 3 Shakiris, actually. Berardi. Yeah, I mean you've got the typical sort of like Celtic hybrid contender stack, collection or whatever, with Rangers in there as well. But like, yeah, you've got all the cards. The only downside to having all the cards is putting them in the right place, obviously, right? The whole choice paralysis thing, which is a good choice, good problem to have overall. You'd rather have it than not, but it can bite you in the arse sometimes. But mate, you've got more than enough. You've got more than enough. Your contender is your contender is like a bit stronger than challenger, but I don't think you need to improve either. Honestly, like at this stage in the season, like that, I just don't think you need to. I really don't. Okay, Alex Coombs. I'll catch up on the chat now. Sorry. Well, there wasn't too much of a chat anyway. Matt's new to Sorare. Matt, stick to the leagues and players and teams you know best. Don't put more money into the game that you can afford to lose. And yeah, be fucking patient, mate. Be patient because this game takes a while to get good at. It takes a while to understand, never mind get good at. So, yeah, just take your time, mate. Don't rush into things. If you know the Premier League better than any other league by a mile, then you probably should go and play Premier League. Same for any other league that applies for. Spurs just signed Danso. I did see that, Peter. I have an in-season Danso. Quite tempted to sell it on that news. Should we see what his price is? Oh, I need to sign in. Why am I signed out? For fuck's sake. Why am I signed out is the question. Why am I signed out? Okay, Kevin Danso. Danso. What is he going for? He's basically up for the same price I paid for him. Oh, a couple of people are buying. Yeah, I'm tempted to sell mine. I'm not saying he won't be that great for Spurs, but like, he might be fine. If I could get around about what I paid for him, I kind of probably take it. Okay, back on topic. Alex Coombs, my main man. Where am I missing in MLS, both limited and rare? I'll be playing classic and hoping to build into in-season. I think that's the way. Thanks in advance. No worries at all, Al. Appreciate you massively, as you know. Let's see what you got going for MLS. I love how there's an MLS filter now. It's beautiful. Let's do rare first, mate, and see what happens. So Andre Blake, George Campbell, Yaimar, so two good defenders. Gold, I like it. Rusnak as well. Bit of Espinoza, Berhalter, not bad. So two good, two average, and fucking hell, the GOAT. I mean, you're not really missing anything. Like, your team would be, Blake, depends who's at home, but let's just call it Andrade, Gold, Messi, Rusnak, probably. I'd maybe get another forward in, just as a bit of cover for Messi, because he's not going to play every game. It's a lovely card. But yeah, just be cautious on that. Like, don't just rely on Messi too much is basically what I would say there. Matt Freeze, let's just hope he doesn't move. Same for Scholter, so probably two starting keepers there. What we got in defence? Zimmerman, McFarland's left for City, hasn't he? Yeah, I mean, I know you've got the NYFC boys, but you might need a couple more defenders there, honestly. You might need a couple more for two teams, I would say, yeah. Maybe one or two more, decent defenders. Hani, Rusnak, McGlynn's obviously just moved to Houston, so same league, obviously. I keep saying obviously, it's pissing me off. Sorry, lads. Santi, Obed, Zink, Kramashi, Marias. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. For two teams, you've just about got enough, I would say. And then Messi, Kuch. Yeah, so that's a lot better. Jovic staying in the league. You've got three good forwards there. A couple of these might work, but overall, I'd say you've got enough. You only, ideally you'd have 4 really good ones, but you've got 3. So I'm kind of okay with that. For two teams, it's fine, mate. I think, with the Messi and stuff, you should be in a half decent position, but I would improve the defense. Excuse me. Yeah, I'd definitely try and improve that defense, mate. Okay, Gary. We are on flames today, lads. I think we're making good time. Gary asked, how's the baby? Tobe says already I'm selling Dan, so yeah, he's gone. Oh, Tobe, what's happening, mate? I just realised you said good evening. What's happening, mate? We went through your gallery. We did go through, I think, what was my only gripe? think it might have been Challenger Defenders, if you want to go back and have a little look. What is this now? Sorry. But yeah, Gary, baby's good. Baby's good, mate. We took him to the doctors on Friday. He's grown. He's nearly £7 now, bless him. He's a month old, so yeah, he was born like £5.7. And then went down to like 5'3" because they lose like 10% of their body weight, and then yeah, back up to 7. So he's doing well, mate. To be fair to him, yeah, he's doing well. Thank you for asking, though, mate. I appreciate it. And he had a bit of reflux as well, but I think we've maybe solved it. Konstantinos, what's happening, mate? Hey, just joined. Did you review my not yet? Cork? No, not yet, mate. Feels like it's going to be a nightmare to know when Dancer starts 100%. Well, maybe with all their injuries, maybe not, but yeah. When they're all back, yeah, that'll be a nightmare. Adriano, what's happening, mate? Gonna go to sleep after a long day. Enjoy the rest of your day. If you don't have enough time for my Gary. Oh no, I'll get through it, Peter. No worries. Don't stress, mate. Get yourself to bed. I know you've had a long day. Yeah, no stress at all, mate. No stress at all. Have a nice kip. Okay, Gary, I'll give this one a miss for the most part. But I'll make this quick. Outside of Musiala, how do I look in under 23 as I'm starting to make a push there? I have 2 keepers, or ideally look at 2 teams. Sounds good, mate. Is that in rare or I guess limited, but I know you've got 8 rares, so maybe it is. Let's have a look. Let me just double check just in case. Ooh, yeah, it's got to be limited. Okay, let's have a look. Let's see what we got going on. So you said two good teams every weekend, basically. Hader, when he's back, fine. Layson, love it. Jungdal's a starter now, so you got 1, 2, 3 starting keepers-ish when Hadel comes back, which is great. Flamingo, Ignacio, Disciple, Brown. Oh, wow. Somebody just bought my Danso. Love that. Just got a notification. Cheers. Made a slight loss on him, but that's fine. Did we get cash? Yeah, we got cash. Okay. Danso is out the building, lads. Big dance. All he ever did was cost me probably about 200 quid's worth of rewards last weekend, so I have nothing great to say about him, unfortunately. But I hope he does well. Joking, I don't. Okay, Brown, Arajo, Diamanda. Yeah, you've got some really good in-season cards here. I can't imagine you're going to play in-season cards here voluntarily. Like, I'm sure those, if they had great matchups, would go in season, but maybe not. I could be wrong. You've got tons of quality here, mate, though. Genuinely. Like, way more quality than you probably need. Just got the Musiala in, which is great. Like, it's my only thing with, like, if you're using these in-season cards in under 23, they're a little bit, like, they're good because they've got, the season bonus, but, like, I think they're better off played in season. I just think, like, the, expected value of playing them in here, although they're going to have more XP more often than other Musialas, I just think you're just missing out on a bit of in-season-ness, maybe, of, like, playing in Champ or playing in Bundes or whatever, but that's just my opinion on it. It's, there's no like fact in there, if that makes sense. Like, it's just legitimately an opinion, but you've got loads of quality. Like, obviously Musiala is a step ahead than most of these here, or quality above, whatever you want to call it. But there's some good scorers here. Like, there really is. I can't knock it. For 2 teams is more than enough, mate. Bireth, love that beautiful card. Stoikers, Gestan, Kathleen, Ciolis, Saka when he's back. Again, Bacco when he's back. Dion Bello when Austria back. You've got more than enough for 2 teams. More than enough. Did you see Illich to Spartak Moscow? Which Illich is that, Marcus? Just watched back my segment and you did basically say what I knew. I already knew I needed an Inacio whatever the window closes. Just want to confirm. Rue Silva is number 1. Just couldn't play Champions League. Sorry, mate. Okay, so you've got more than enough keepers then for sure. I make my pro lineups, priority lineups first, and then use the rest under 23 at the moment. Or start buying some more. Yeah. I don't know. I just think like some of your big under 23 cards, like Musiala for example, unbelievable card as we know. But I can't imagine that those wouldn't go into your priority lineups before under 23. I could be wrong, but like if you're gonna buy under 23 cards, just buy classic versions. It's basically what I'm getting at. Naipan staying, yeah, that's massive, isn't it, Tobe? It really is. Yeah, that's massive, to be fair. Okay. Jolan. Hope the ankle is a bit better, mate. I have, since the last time, created a Bundesliga in-season limited, bought some extra assets for Challenger. Should I now focus on improving Bundesliga and La Liga in-season, or should I focus on starting rare in-season Challenger? Ooh, okay. So basically, is your La Liga in-season strong enough is one of the questions. I guess is one of the questions. Was it La Liga? Yeah, you said you did play La Liga. Have I got that wrong? Jolan, La Liga. I'm not seeing any La Liga cards there. Or am I just being stupid? I remember you definitely had Bundesliga, boys, didn't you? Yeah. Zetner, Neuer, Schlott, Theater. Your mids are unbelievably strong. Forwards are less so. There's definitely... I'd say, obviously, Schlotterbeck, great. Theater's fine. I think you need maybe one or two more defender options there, honestly, to really strengthen that up a little bit. Mids are fine. You'll get away with that. Forwards are a little bit ropey. Like, Openda's a good player, but he's not in season, which stifles you a little bit because you couldn't play him with Neuer, which, whatever. I'd say, yeah, a couple more defenders before thinking about Challenger rare. In season, that is. And yeah, as far as La Liga goes, am I missing something? I don't see La Liga cards here. Ivan Illich. Ooh, the under 23 mid. Ah, interesting, because he was rumored to Zenit, wasn't he? That seems pretty fun. Silent Speed, can you help me with my gallery? Unfortunately, yeah, I'll only be helping channel members tonight, pal. But I'm sure there'll be a lot of sort of information you can pick up along the way that you can kind of adapt it to your gallery without me looking at it necessarily, because yeah, I've got a long night ahead of myself, mate, to be honest. Like, I've got a lot of galleries to go through, so yeah, and it's only fair, like, it's a perk of being a member, so yeah, I hope you understand, mate. But yeah, I can't see this La Liga stuff, mate, and to be honest. But yeah, if you are wanting to play in season La Liga, you're definitely gonna need to have a couple more cards on you than this. So yeah, but before that, I would definitely improve what I said in the Bundesliga stuff, for sure. Okay, flash cut. What are the gaps in my champion rare gallery? Which players can you suggest to fill them? I would like to have a good start in MLS limited in season. Which players you suggest to add to my gallery? Ooh, like, I'm not, I do it in the past, and I've done it in the past, sorry, and I'll probably continue to do it, but I'm not a massive fan of going like, you need to buy this specific player. I like to identify positions, to be honest, and go, okay, yeah, you definitely need an under 23 midfielder, or you definitely need a champion goalie, or whatever that is, right? Like, I don't love giving exact names because there's just so much that can go wrong with that. Also, so much that can go right, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm just kind of covering my ass there because things can go wrong, as you're aware. But yeah, what do we need? Champ rare gallery, is it? I guess it's in season. Let's have a look. Donnarumma, Mayeki, Bolka, Bryce. 4 starting keepers. Okay, good quality. Hakimi, Marquinhos, Suso, Kipri, you got the Nice boys, okay. So lots of Ligue 1, okay. For 3 teams, probably enough. Vitinha, Nanasi, Diop, Blas, Nunez has been good. Gomez, yeah, you got some quality mids. I can't really say too much there. Dembele, Gaston, yeah, mate, you've got the cards. I don't know really where you improve here, genuinely. Like, you just do have the best Ligue 1 cards, which doesn't mean to say you're just gonna win everything, but like, you have a lot of the quality that you would need to go out and do a bit in Champ. Simple as, it's just getting it right. Like, it's just getting the lineup right. Easier said than done. I say it all the time, but step 1's done. Like, you have the good cards. It's just about getting them in the right place, in the right the right matchup, in the right game week. Maybe, I mean, it's not gonna maybe improve things drastically, but maybe an in-season Klaus could help you a little bit with the in-season Bulker, give you a bit more room, with the classic cards that you have or don't have. Yeah, I'm not seeing too many things that you're missing necessarily, especially in like Ligue 1. Not to say you can't play cards from other places in Champ, because obviously you can. But you have enough for 3 or so lineups. You have enough more than enough, honestly. It's just getting them right. It's just getting the week right. And then as far as you said MLS, I'm not going to like suggest a team. Like I say, suggest a team. Okay, I'll give you the teams I'm quite high on for this season. Like for MLS, I like Seattle. I like Atlanta. Obviously, Inter Miami's the obvious one. Columbus Crew, kind of, but there's a few risks, I guess. I like Charlotte. I think defensively, Charlotte should be good. Maybe adding Zaha into that could be really good offensively. That's 4 or 5 teams. Who else I'm quite high on? Not Philly. Not Toronto. Montreal, a little bit, but not enough for me to like. Yeah, say that I'm high on them. Who am I missing from the MLS? I wouldn't really touch San Diego, being a new team. Historically, they don't tend to do that well. But the ones I've mentioned, definitely, keep an eye on those. We mentioned Columbus. Cincinnati, I wouldn't really touch right now. There's too many uncertainties. I mean, LAFC is hard to not, get involved in most of the time. The Red Bulls, potentially, but I don't think you'll have like a ton of SO5 fun. There's some good players there, but I don't know if there's enough to go around. Yeah, Seattle for me. Seattle, the Galaxies, the Miamis, Columbus, Atlanta, Charlotte. They're the ones I'd probably, mention to there, mate. But yeah, good luck with your MLS adventure, mate, and obviously in Champ as well. Okay, Big Baz Barrett. I've started getting ready, for MLS Rare. Can you have a look and see what I'm missing, in your opinion? Most affordable goalkeeper to go for when in-season cards drop. That question is completely... Like, I wouldn't be able to give you that answer, unfortunately, Baz, as far as, like, who the in-season cheapest MLS keeper is going to be, because we just don't know prices, mate. Honestly, like, impossible question to ask. Not having a go at you, I'm just saying, like, it's just hard for me to give you a guesstimate there. Once they come out, though, I'll obviously give you a better guess there. Sorare, Berkey, Coronel, like it. Solid enough. Campbell, Martinez, I like that. Mikhail, Zanka and Rolls. Williamson, Dreyer, Zink in season, Almirola in season, Luna, Fours, McGlynn, Caden Clark, Obed Vargas. You've got the St. Louis boys, yeah. For 2 or 3 lineups, you've got more than enough mids there, I would say. Bamba, Zaha, Big Pat, Lozano, Peck, wow. Love that. And this toy shirt. So you're like Peck, toy shirt, both played last season. The rest you're kind of banking on coming in and doing well. Aguiman played last year. Like, you've got a few risks up front. Like, we don't know how good all these, the new cards are going to be. That's just obvious, right? But, like, you've got Peck and you've got the St. Louis boy. Like, is it worth getting yourself, like, a Benteke or something, just for a bit of assurance, knowing that, like, each week you could put out 3, like, solid forwards. I don't think it's necessary, really, but it would give me a bit of peace of mind. But the rest, I'd say you're kind of fine. Maybe another defender. Like, you've only got 5 defenders there for 3 lineups. I know a couple of those are in season, but I guess, yeah, you're going to play your in-season lads together, aren't you, realistically? So that might not matter too much for the classic side of things, but you've got 3 keepers. So, you take out these 2, you've only got 3 defenders. So I definitely add a few defenders in there if you can, like a Jordi Alba maybe, or, whoever that may be. Just to give yourself more choice with classic. But you're looking good, mate. You're looking good in MLS for sure. Cameron and Bratton. I will catch up with the chat now, lads. Is there any advice you could give me when it comes to playing classic Champ? Yeah, I mean, Champ is just... not Champ. What's wrong with my phone, by the way? Why is the background of my phone black? I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I mean, classic in general is just hard, mate. Like, it's just really, really hard. Houston should be solid. Yeah, but they've lost their whole mid. They've lost fucking Don Hector. Like, he was literally the only player that made him tick. He was the man. I mean, they had a couple of other decent players, didn't they? But losing him is massive. Like, that is a rebuild. Sorry, Matty, did you see my comment over on Twitch? I didn't, mate. No. They might have come up on the screen, but obviously I'm not able to look at the screen too often. Weasel Mont, what's happening, mate? No, I didn't see him, Matty. Let me know. Let me know what they were over on YouTube, please. Question, I'm a fan of my local MLS team, Montreal. Is it a good idea to buy the whole collection? If you want to lose... nah, I'm joking. I mean, I don't think it's the best idea in the world. You've got a couple of good players. Caden Clark, for example. Your goalkeeper, Sorare, is decent. George Campbell, you just signed Jalen Neal. Like, there's a few good players. Having the whole collection, like, it's good for collection bonus points. Like, that helps you because it gives more XP to your cards. But, like, I can't imagine there's, like, 5 really good Montreal cards to play every week. There might be 1 or 2, 3 maybe. Yeah. Like, if you're going to buy the whole Montreal team, make sure you buy other pieces throughout the MLS, like other good cards, because I don't think Montreal stack alone is going to do it, personally. I mean, he was, but they found floating without him half the season. Yeah, McGlynn's good, but he's not necessarily like a leader or anything. They need a few additions. They need some additions. They just traded for McGlynn today. Yeah, he'll be good. I'm not saying he won't be good for SO5. It's just a different, having Hector Herrera's played in multiple World Cups coming into your team and then having Jack McGlynn. There's levels, lads. Okay, there's definitely levels to that. AG, what's happening, mate? Weaselmont, I'm no Cardiff fan. I'm not a Cardiff fan, mate. I'm just from Cardiff. There's a big difference. But yeah, we got bad today. That was always going to happen though, wasn't it? Fucking Leeds. Cardiff are rhubarb. Absolutely rubbish. Okay, Cam. Do I expand my Bundesliga into some champion season, or do I stick with what I've got to the end of the season and just create a bank of cash for next season? Would you be looking at any in-season cards? Would you be looking at any in-season cards that would be valuable next year? I mean, I'd be shocked if there's any in-season cards that you buy now that when they turn classic next year are going to be worth more money, for one. I'm not saying you've said that, but my point kind of still stands. Obviously, you can use them this season as well. But yeah, before you start buying new things, like, just win with the things you have already is basically, one of the most obvious things for me. Like, if the cards you've got already aren't winning for you, then, adding to them isn't, necessarily a bad thing, because you need to improve, obviously, if you're not winning. But as far as, like, branching out into other regions and stuff, I think that's just, you're just spreading yourself too thin most of the time doing that. Just make what you have right now work. If that doesn't work, scrap it all and go somewhere else, or add to it and try again. But don't like half-arse it. Like, don't just stay there and go, oh, okay, well, I'm still not winning in Bundesliga, let me go over to La Liga and try and win over there. Got no chance. Just get better at Bundesliga, or just completely scrap it all and go somewhere else. That's kind of what my advice is there. Rono's back. Hideki. Yeah, okay, you've got the keepers are in. Grimmy, yeah, you've got all the defenders. I don't think you need to necessarily add to this from what I've seen so far. You are lacking all the Bayern boys, so, like, having a Kimmich, having a Musiala or an Olise would probably help, if I'm being honest, because avoiding those, similarly in defense, like, you have the defenders, you just don't have Upa, who, scored the most today, like, it's just tough to compete without, like, those pieces of Bayern boys. So, yeah, the only improvements I would say would be get some Bayern mids in, basically, Cam. That would be the only improvement. And as far as, like, what in-season cards are going to be good next season, it's just so hard to say. Players move, and it's just impossible. Like, even Bischoff might not be worth much if he doesn't play for Bayern, That's the issue. You just don't worry about next season. Worry about now. These in-season cards are ticking time bombs. You have to make them work, otherwise you lose. That's just how the game works right now. I definitely didn't say it would be close. I said on Friday, Dan James is going to rip us apart, and he scored a fucking 100. So I don't want to hear any of that. I'm not hearing any of that. What could a team like Nottingham Forest be in the MLS? It's tough, Marcus. Everyone's on the same level in the MLS, like team, like budgets and stuff, apart from Inter Miami, because they just get to have just get to do what they want with Messi. But most teams are on the same, like, playing field. Like, you'll never see you'll never really see a Forest in the MLS in a way, because everyone's on the same like wages. Everyone has the same amount of good players, really. Like, apart from a few teams, like there's a few exceptions, but like it's just not. It's very hard to like give that comparison over, I would say. Arnold, what's happening, mate? Lads are asking for things in the chat. This is only for my members. This is only for my paid YouTube members. Historically, we do well against Leeds. They do, to be fair. Cardiff, that is. Come on, slackers, get like in the stream. Weezum on. I did ask earlier, to be fair. There's more watching now than there was earlier, and there was 51 watching earlier, and I didn't check the likes. If it's under 20, lads, I'm gonna be not fair. Well, to be fair, there's only 32. Oh no, there's 50. There's 20 likes. 21 just now. I just liked it, lads. Come on, step it up, please. Step it up. Okay. Next up is Island Trader. Okay. In your opinion, where's my comparative advantage and where best to focus? I need some La Liga rare defenders, probably not from Barca Atleti, top picks. We'll definitely have a look into that. Where is your best? Let's have a look. Let's see what... Harold Wilson. Okay, so Rafinha. Excuse me. Rafinha's your best classic card, it seems. Cherky. So far, I'm seeing that Champ in season with, a classic smasher like Rafinha is probably like your best, chance at a podium, let's say, from what I'm seeing so far. Conde, Ebricheze, Lewis Hall. Like, you do have other good cards, don't get me wrong, but James. It's just very... Your gallery is just massive, and it's just so spread out. Like, obviously I like Lo Celso, Griezmann. Yeah, your champ La Liga side of things is where I think you're knocking on the door maybe of like a big finish. Again, not to discount any of the other cards you have. You have other good in-season cards. You have other good classic cards, but that's just where excuse me. That's just where I'm seeing like the most condensed amount of quality, I would say. That could go and kick on. Yeah, that's my thinking on that. And then as far as La Liga defenders go, what are we looking at here? Ana Martinez, Molina, Miguel Gutierrez. Yeah, you're definitely maybe lacking a couple of defenders here. I mean, one that I'm quite high on, and he's a smasher at home, and you have the keeper, is Sergi Cardona. I have him in rare, I just never seem to find a place to play him, but those home games, he just seems to cook big time. So I think maybe a little Sergi Cardona. I mean, Agued, however you pronounce it. Yeah, this guy obviously for Sociedad, it's relatively slim pickings, isn't it, for La Liga defenders for the most part, but he's as good as it gets, really, doesn't it, from a centre-back's perspective. Sergi Cardona a bit more peaky as a wing, as a fullback maybe, but can definitely do the business. I'll catch up on the chat now. What is the seller Yamal worth? I don't know, mate. I don't know. Like I said, Matty, I haven't managed to... I mentioned it a few weeks ago. I haven't managed to link up the Discord to Twitch yet. Once I do, and I can get members through that way as well, I will. But I haven't managed to get it going yet, mate. To be honest, so all I concentrate on is who's in the Discord, and yeah. So like I said, yeah, I'm still trying to work out how to link those two or keep make them a thing. Like once somebody subs on Twitch, they can come into the Discord basically. So yeah, I'm sorry. Right now we'll have to delay that because yeah, otherwise it'll just get a bit too hectic, I think, for me, and I won't be able to police and keep on top of things as well as I'd like. So, But yeah, I'm sorry for that, Matty. What game week is the new divisions set? It's like when MLS starts, or game week like 56, I think it is. Okay, Tom, condense my gallery to Prem in season. Only have about 2 to 2.5k to go. Hard into MLS in season. We've discussed this before, but I think your opinions on some good teams' plays would be great. And also, just a quick check of the Prem gallery to make sure I'm not missing anyone obvious. Let's do it, mate. Thanks as always. You're the man. Now, Tom, you're the man. You're the man, mate. Okay, let's just quickly look over the Prem stuff. I've already mentioned MLS. I don't know whether you're watching, but I've kind of given who I think like the teams I'm quite high on, but then I'll maybe go into more individual based stuff as well. Not necessarily the team, but yeah, Alisson, Raya, Pickford, Emi, Bar, Onana, Trent, Virgil, Big Housen, love it. Saliba, Robinson. I'm not seeing a Nico Williams in there. You better get yourself a Nico Williams, sir. Get yourself a Nico. Bruno, Odegaard, Phil Foden, Rodrigo, Bruno, Rice, Sob, Caicedo, Wanyeri, Gibbs White, McAllister. For 3 teams, like I'm just not seeing where you could improve here, really. Salah, Palmer, Saka, Isak, Diallo, Cody. Big old man Mamouche is now in, isn't he? Yeah, mate, I just don't understand where you could get better here. Genuinely. It's just about, avoiding choice paralysis and getting the 5 right across 3 lineups, right? 15. So, mate, I'm not touching that there. But yeah, as far as MLS goes, yeah, I've kind of mentioned the teams I'm high on as like a team. Like on the odd given game week, those will probably do well now and again. Whether that's a full Miami stack or a full Seattle stack, full Atlanta stack. Those have their place, I guess. Let me do stars only, maybe. But yeah, we spoke in private as well. But if the Orellano, Denki link up could be pretty fun. Hard telling that striker. I can't remember his name now. Touche or whatever his name is. Evander, wherever he ends up. If he ends up in the MLS, you probably need to get yourself an Evander. We know the whole Cucho Rossi thing. It wasn't that prevalent last year. Like Cucho was, I'd say, a lot better than Rossi was for the most part, but still obviously good. It was hard to avoid Carlos Gil. We know how good he can be. The Inter Miami boys, if you can link up Messi and if Suarez is playing or Alba, like you always know there's going to be a double DA in there somewhere. I think the whole, Almiron, Latte Lath when he gets cards, and obviously Miranchuk, that little trio could be a nice little attacking stack. This guy, Cedric Teixeira, whatever his name is, I think he could be fun. We've mentioned Zaha. Defensive stacks, I mean, it's Kalina and whoever a defender is from Charlotte scoring well that week is probably your best bet most of the time. Hard to get clean sheets in the MLS, let me tell you. Like super hard. So that's why you've got to really emphasize on. Like I'd be shocked if the meta is ever double defensive stack in the MLS. I think it will always be as that extra player. If it's not a mid or a forward, I think you're just miles off it. From my guess right now, but I obviously could be very, very wrong. But yeah, that's the way I'm seeing it. Yeah, that's probably as much as I can really say right now without anything changing. This guy Langoni's a good little player. Maybe link him up with Carlos Gil. Could be a nice little attacking stack. But yeah, I'm not incredibly high on it. Oh boy, Alfstan, yeah. Forsberg, yeah, there's something cooking maybe with Forsberg. If Timo goes there, Choupo-Moting, there's definitely something going on maybe with the Red Bulls. But I'm still very high on, even though Cincinnati are, in the manager's words, behind, like they're not where they want to be right now. I still think Orellano and Denki, I think they'll be good, but I don't think, like if Acosta leaves, there's obviously a big, hole to fill there. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, to be honest. Campana with Gil. Yeah, Campana could be decent with Gil. We could give him a bit of an outlet, to work off. For sure. Okay, Sporting Shamrock. Ooh. There we go. Ahead of the off-season, looking to trim my champ Super Rare gallery. What would you suggest keeping and what would you move on? Big Danso. Big Kev. Okay, what have you got in champ Super Rare then? It looks like a lot. I mean, do you need 2 Barts? Looks like you're doubling up on a lot of these keepers. I kind of get it, but I don't know, like, do you need double of them? I don't know. Jesus, you have so many keepers. It's a joke. Wow. Like, actually ridiculous. I just don't, like, where can you play all these cards is my issue. Like, do you need this many? I know there's turnover. I know players leave, but, like, I guess if you play them in the native comps, you probably can play them in most positions, can't you? But yeah, mate, it's just, there's a lot going on there. A lot going on. Schlotters, Hakimi, double Barco. Yeah, it's always a tough question to answer, to be honest. Like, what should you sell? You know, like, that's a very hard question, even though it sounds quite easy to answer on the surface of things. But, like, we don't know what the future of Super Rare really looks like. We kind of do with no divisions and whatever. Like, we know bits, but yeah, it's just really hard to, like, dissect, like, what should go, what shouldn't. Like, I don't know what half of these Super Rares are worth is the issue, you know. Even though I play Super Rare, I don't play Champ, so, you know, that's the issue. Like, I don't know what even makes a dent or helps, really. It's just so hard. Because you play, literally, it seems like you play every single, like, Champ, Bundesliga, La Liga competition. It's hard for me to go, oh, you should sell Guardiola. You know, like, it's a very hard thing to say, basically, is the issue, as much as I want to obviously help you. You've got so many cards, it's ridiculous. Like, so many. I guess you're all Super Rare, aren't you, as well? Oh, a bit of unique as well, fair. Yeah, man, it's just so hard to say. I know that's useless from my perspective. I don't know. It's just a really tough one. I'm actually going to go back and have a look at, like, what your lineups look like. I don't think it's going to help me give you an answer, but I'm just intrigued to see what you actually are playing. You literally have everything, don't you? Like, let's just be real. You literally have everything. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to tell you to sell a Xavi Simons. You know what I mean? Tom, what's happening, mate? Don't be sorry. I literally did your gallery just before this one, so decent timing. Yeah, man. But Jude in season. Wow. Question is, are you missing a Yamal? Do you have a Yamal Super Rare is the question. Cherky, beautiful. What a card. And, like, it's not even as if, like, Super Rares are that easy to move, are they? That's another issue in itself. Like, some wicked rewards by the way. Yeah, that's the only thing I'm not worried about. But, like, you have a couple of doubles. Like, I've seen you have, like, a double Son, one in season, one not. Schlotterbeck the same for Bart. Like, do you need the classic versions, really? Like, your in season one's gonna turn in classic anyway next season if you're gonna keep him. Got another Son. Like, do you need that many of these cards? Really? Maybe you do. Crafted Super Red De Bruyne, did he? That is fucking bonkers, isn't it? Like, let's maybe have a look at this. Excuse me, this game week right now. Wow. Well, that's the division I compete in. So yeah, I won't be winning that. With Rui Silva to play in the best matchup all week. It's not even that good of a. I mean, it's a gang stack with Rui Silva. Sorry. I played Hainan myself. It's looking good though, isn't it? Prem Champ D3, Bundesliga D1. Wow, full Bayern Super stack, mental. Bundesliga in season D3, Newcastle stack D2, Contender as well. Jesus, you have some fucking set of cards here. Wow. Liga in season, Jude captain. Wow, some fucking gallery this, by the way, isn't it? Bundesliga in season, a unique Kunde and a unique Lewandowski. Wow. Classic La Liga, that is. Wow, under 23 classic. That's awesome. Unique as well. That's fun. That is really fun. Bundesliga unique as well. Flamengo, that's a killer. That is a killer, isn't it? Yeah, man, it's just so hard to just give you an answer, honestly. Wow, Van der Vaart unique. You have some gallery, by the way. Really tough. Like I said, the only thing I can think of is like doubling up on certain places where you might not need to, potentially, is kind of the only thing I can think of where I'm like, that might make sense. But other than that, like, it's just so hard for me to say, you should chop off X arm or you should chop off Contender, or, whatever, because you play everything, and it's just really tough to give you a proper answer. Look how many lineups you've got, by the way. Wow, you play them in rare. Got you. Yeah, that's bonkers. Sorry, I can't really help you, to be honest. Like, I genuinely can't. Gallery's worth nearly £500,000, by the way. Okay, Big Daniel Cooper. But yeah, if there's any other questions you want to ask me, Sporting Shamrock, obviously let me know on Discord and we can chat about whatever. But yeah, like, just very hard for me to give you too much there or anything there. Okay, MLS strategy. I will buy a full Seattle collection. Outside of that, would it be worth getting 5% collection of the best teams, then triple up on the best players, given the new collection bonus rule where duplicates all get the bonus, or would you spread out the gallery into more different players so I'm better protected against injuries and weird game weeks? Interesting. So you're definitely gonna buy the Seattle collection. Would it be worth getting a 5% collection of the best teams? Maybe. I'm more thinking of like, get yourself 3 Messis, get yourself 3 Cuchos type of thing. So yeah, the answer would be get yourself a Miami 5%, get yourself a Miami or Columbus 5%. Yeah, that's kind of where my head's going initially. Because there's going to be certain weeks where like we know Messi's the lock most of the time anyway. So like having 100 across 3 lineups is going to, as your captain, 150, 60 points is going to be massive. Scroll back, Nico's been bought. Love it. Love it, mate. Yeah, all good, mate. All good. Quiet Saturday. Just went for a run and just looked after the nipper and haven't watched any football, to be honest, mate. Just looked at my phone with lineups coming in and lineups getting dismantled and stuff. But yeah, it's been a nice day. Need to have some grub soon though. But yeah, I appreciate you asking. But yeah, Daniel, that's kind of where I'm at, mate. I would say if you can afford, I know you probably can afford it, get yourself the 3 Messis and stuff. Like, it's going to be such an advantage for you to win across certain, and especially with the in-season, like you could be winning like easy 3 thresholds every weekend, and never mind like placing on certain leaderboards as well. I think that's the play, personally. That's what I'd be doing. Okay, Bichetti, reshuffled to basically just La Liga and MLS. Is there any way you think I can enforce for La Liga? Obviously need some of the stars, but on a budget now unless I get some winnings. I feel like I'm lacking in the mid forward, so if you have any suggestions there. Also wanted to ask if my MLS Classic is decent enough to compete. Don't plan on buying in season. That sounds good, mate. Yeah, Great questions. Let's see what you got cooking. So you said midfielders you feel like maybe are a little bit weak. I mean, Pedri, Valverde, Isco, Gavi, De Paul, Mame. I'd argue your mids are fine. Honestly, that first row is really good. Rafinha, Rodrigo, Alvarez, Barry, Kubo, Lukebakio, and then the second, Saganikov. A couple of decent ones there, but for 3 lineups, I think you've got more than enough. And then defense, Kabasi, Kunde, Araujo, Rudiger, Agued, Molina, Arnau. Like, I know you don't have like Jude or anything in midfield, but you have Valverde. Like, you still have good cards. Wojciech, Oblak, Ter Stegen, Gazaniga, Soria. Mate, I don't think you've got everything you kind of need to win there. Easier said than done, but you know what I mean. Like, I don't even think you need midfielders and forwards. Genuinely, I really don't. I think you've got just about enough quality there. I really, really do. Okay, what we got here then? So 6 starting keepers, which is nice. Like a good amount to choose from. Obviously, you'll only be able to use 3 of those technically, but at least you have a lot of choice there. Kai Wagner, if he stays, great. Alba, Reagan, Neymar. Yeah, you've got the Miami boys. 3 lineups though. You missing a couple? Yeah, maybe not. Now you're probably fine because Miami will be 1 stack, and then you'll have Seattle as the other. Wagner. Yeah, you're probably okay. You're probably fine. Hartel, Gill, Rusnak, McGlynn, Clark, Redondo, Gazdag, Lowen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 or 9 mids. Yeah, I mean, for 3 lineups, it's definitely enough. Messi, Suarez, Painsil, Tuchel, Campana, Morris. Again, 6 forward. You can only use, you could use 6, I guess, if you went double forward each lineup, but you're probably not going to do that every time. I think you got enough, mate. I think you got enough to compete for sure. Just make sure your collection bonuses are good and everything. You're kind of maxing out your cards as much as you can. I don't think you can do much more. Shouting at the left backs from Eredivisie. Mate, I'm done with El Karauni. Back-to-back 85s. Pulls an all-time stinker. Fuming. No worries at all, Dan. Wish you all the best, mate. And Mikey Baston's joined us. What's happening, mate? I have a few extra for All-Star. Sounds good, Bichette. Yeah, don't mind that. All-Star and the specials. I think you're in good nick, mate. I think you're in good nick. Okay, dear Egan. Just waiting really on MLS drops. I'm going to go as heavy as possible early on and try and reap the most rewards. In terms of my gallery now, I'm quite happy with my Challenger setup at limited. A few more pieces to add into rare to be fully happy. I guess, if anything, what advice would you have going into the MLS in season rares when they come out? Any do's or don'ts that you would stick by? Thanks, Harry. No worries, mate. A few blanket statements. I mean, there is going to be a lot of competition for those early cards, which is understandable. I think if you don't have unlimited money like me, like probably you, like most of us watching this, then, well, maybe not Daniel. Daniel might have unlimited money, to be fair, with his 3 Messis. I wouldn't encourage to buy the one-offs. I know they don't normally come out with the one-offs anyway first, but even the 2, the 3, whatever comes out first, just kind of gauge what's, what prices are looking like for the first couple. They might even go a bit cheap first off because, like I said, people are doing what I'm saying and not bidding. But don't forget, there's going to be a lot of people with big market credit balances, and you can't necessarily see that. So if somebody overpays for one card or overpays, you don't know it's an overpay. Like, again, you're not going to be able to suss that out, unfortunately. But just kind of use your wit. Like, if one, I don't know, if Oriano's gone for £200, 3 of 10, and the 4 of 10 has gone for like £600 or something stupid, to where somebody's probably used like 50% market credits there on a lot of that, type of thing. Again, very hard to judge, but I'm just saying, like, don't think that the next Oriano has to go for 600. It might, but just don't touch it, Things like that. Just kind of stay out of the fire in the best way possible. I don't know whether you've watched so far up until your gallery review now, but I've already mentioned the teams that I'm quite high on. I've also mentioned a couple of the stacks for Tom, so I think I would just be repeating myself in that sense. But yeah, just don't go spunking early on and getting too drawn into things. It's easier said than done. I'm not saying like I won't not do that at all, or very hard to say when they're in front of you, of course. But yeah, just be cautious. Have a plan going into it. Like, be like, okay, I definitely want to buy an in-season lineup. 5 cards. What defensive stack do I want? Is that Seattle? Okay, can I buy a few collection pieces to bump it up to 2 or 3%? Who's my smash and mid? Is it Hartel? Well, if it is Hartel, then who's my forward to go with that? Is it another St. Louis guy? Or do I just go out and spunk on Messi? You know, like, just try and work out in your head what you feel like, you know, would be competitive. Again, easier said than done. We haven't seen the comps. We haven't even seen the prizes. You know, like, there's so many unknowns right now. Once those come out, obviously we can revisit this question, to be honest, because I'm sure we're going to get MLS cards in the next, let's call it 2 weeks. So, yeah, I don't think we'll have to wait too long. Next up is... Oh, Pierre just became a member. Yeah, well, you've definitely been a member before because you've got the three plus thing. So welcome back, Pierre. Welcome back, mate. Very, very glad to have you back. Cameron Carter Davis. Just a quick gallery. Just a quick check over, really, as awaiting Saka to return, but bought in some new in-season additions for Champ and Prem, specifically aiming for Champions League players. Interesting. Okay, let's have a look at what you've brought in then. I see you're buying rares as well. So you bought in Modric, Finn Darman, Neto. I see you venturing into rare, mate, quite heavily here, I'm seeing. Bit of a Toulouse stack. Huh. I didn't know you got into rare. That's interesting. Nice to see. Frankowski, working your way in. I don't mind it, mate. I don't mind it. Lucimi, yeah, some good cards there. You'll have half a chance now and again, for sure. As far as your limiteds go, let's just go Champ. Finn Darman, Ryan Martinez, Onana, yeah. So you got 4 starting keepers, 3 Prem. Gabriel, Arsenal boys, bit of Newcastle, bit of Villa, okay. Okay. Bruno Odegaard. There's a bit of it like Bruno Odegaard, Rice. There's a little bit of a drop off after that. Like, there's some good cards. Kamara's a good card. I'll give him that. Jorginho, McGinn. It's a bit like 4 lineups because you're playing Champ as well. I don't know. Obviously, you've got Modric in there now, but he's not going to play every week. Your forwards are strong. Watkins maybe moved to Arsenal, of course. Yeah. I think you need a little bit more midfield, honestly. A little bit more like Champ midfield depth and quality, of course. Let me give you a quick example, maybe. Mid All-Star Champion. Let's have a look. Pierre's back. Just went back to my La Liga part and missed it. You said my forwards are good. Just need to start. Which one would I save up for? Ooh, did you have Rafinha? You had Rafinha, didn't you? If you didn't have Rafinha, then I would say Rafinha. If it's not Rafinha, then I would say Bellingham. Do I have the Discord link? I think I got removed after my membership expired. Got you. Yeah, there is like a refresh. Like I didn't kick you out necessarily, but it's the Discord refreshes if you're not a member. So yeah, you're spot on there, Pierre. The link should be, now that you're a member again, on your YouTube like perks link, if that makes sense. Like on the perks, there should be a Discord link, and it should work that way for you, Pierre. Get yourself in. But yeah, sorry, Cal. Some mids that, aren't necessarily breaking the bank, maybe. Sofiane Diop, but I don't think he's like super nailed now. There's a bit more. Højbjerg could be a good one. Frankowski, you've already got him in rare. Get yourself a limited Frankowski, maybe. Like I said, Højbjerg. Cameron, what's happening, mate? Lots of reviews this month. Community going strong. Love it. Just popped in. I might be around for mine. If not, watch tomorrow. No worries at all, Cam. No worries at all, mate. Gutted about your Boskagli situation tonight, or PSV in general. Gutted for you, mate. Yeah, Frankowski we mentioned. I'm just thinking about like middle of the road players that aren't like super expensive. Reinders maybe. Lo Celso on a bit of an injury discount could be quite fun. Excuse me, that could work. Maybe a Max Arnold. Rongier could be quite fun. I'd say Teji, but probably not. Yeah, I think there's enough there. I've kind of gone through. Okay, Mikey Baston, the man of the moment. Mikey Baston. I think Pierre just got himself back in, and boom, Pierre's back in. Pierre's back in. Get yourself into the monthly gallery review section. I can see you're already doing that, mate. Absolute legend. I think we're making good time, lads, to be fair. I think we're making really good time. Okay. Does MLS Limited Gallery justify the addition of a Messi, or is it not good enough yet? Let's have a look. Oh, he's already in. You're asking me questions that are invalid, Mikey. Fucking sort it out, mate. Wasting my time. Wasting my time, he is. Old Mikey. Only messing with you, mate. Only messing with you. Let's have a look. Chris Brady, Pulscamp, Freeze, Blakes, or 4, Fry, 6, Pulscamp, Sean John. Yeah, you've got loads of keepers. Andrade, Martinez, Brooks Lennon, Gressel, Nuhu. I'd say you might need a couple more defenders. That doesn't mean to say like you shouldn't buy Messi because you've already done it. Hartel, Gill, McGlynn, Rusnak, Santi, Sullivan. Yeah, you've got enough mids for sure. Okay, now we're talking. So Messi's in. Luca Oriano, Wilf, Aranjo. Oh, we just got a new member. Joj, have I said that right? Mate, welcome. Quinny. Go on the Quinn dog. Mikey Baston's edited it. I did it anyway. I would still appreciate it if you think it's strong enough. Love it, mate. Love it. I'm only messing with you. Only messing. But yeah, I appreciate you joining the member section. I think I've butchered your name there. Can we have confirmation if I've butchered it or not? Quinny, thoughts on Hart if Dundee drew to Celtic and Hart to do that? Does that make Hearts better than Celtic? Quinn dog, mate. What's happening? Yeah, I think you've justified the Messi purchase, to be honest, mate. Like, there's going to be one team every week for you that is, like, there, you know? If not two. Obviously, Messi can't play in both, but yeah, mate, you're fine. I think maybe a couple of defenders just to give yourself a few more options. Get yourself, one of our boys and favourites, George Campbell, in there. I don't know, just a couple of boys, Reagan maybe to go with Andrade. Like, yeah, there's a couple of additions maybe in defence. If you can get an Alba, that'd be great to go with the Messi and stuff. Like, but yeah, you've got at least one or two really good lineups there going out every week, I would say, to justify the Messi. But yeah, lovely purchase, mate. Love it. Love it. Quinny said no, not at all. Get yourself into the Discord, Joj, if I've pronounced that right, or even if I've not. Get yourself in. There should be a Discord link now that you've become a YouTube member. So yeah, get yourself in, mate. Of course, the week I play Ibarra, he's on 6.4 AA after 50 minutes. But when I need him to just not do anything, he scores a 92. That's just kind of the script with him for whatever reason, which is just really, really fun. Really, really fun. So I'm just checking a few of my lineups. Not too much going on, honestly. Yeah, not much going on. Okay. Konstantinos, my first season in Sorare, and a bit concerned about my players' prices. I'm just thinking if the way I play the game now and the amount of cards I have are the best possible to win me rewards that I'm happy. At the beginning it was all in for Prem, but nowadays I'm expanding into under 23 whilst also buying players for investment in the future. My gallery is a bit complicated, so good luck. I just wanted quick advice from someone who is experienced in the game. For sure. Let me have a look what you've kind of got and go from there. But see what your best sort of assets are. So Hart, yeah. Salah, Palmer, Raya, Becker. So yeah, you've still got a lot of the Prem stuff. Turkey celebration, that'll be fun. Gakpo, yeah. So you're still heavily in the Prem side of things, it seems, which is fine. Bit of Challenger floating about. Bit of La Liga, I can see. you've got unbelievable Prem quality. Like, it doesn't really get much better with your Prem stuff. I'm just gonna have a look at what your collection bonuses are saying. So you've got 4%, 4%, 4%, 4%. Okay, Arsenal 3, Tottenham 3, Fulham United 2s. Okay. Like, I don't want to bang on about collection bonus too much, because I obviously do think it's obviously important. Like, nobody's gonna say it's not. But like, you're in the realm of where you want to be. Like, no fives, but fours and threes. Like, you can. I'm sure you can probably get by there. With those type of things. And as far as like you said, like the investment for the future type of thing, I don't want to tell you like that isn't going to be a thing, as in like you're not going to buy someone today and they're going to be worth more tomorrow, because they could be. But for the most part, like how these in-season cards work, for example, you buy them for £100 at the start of the season, you should expect their value next season to be like £10, because the whole thing is on this game now, and I'm preaching here, you probably know what I'm going to say, but it's all about winning that £90 and more, like the difference between what you bought him for and what you sell him for at the start of the next season. If you were to sell him for £10, all hypothetical, you win, or you try and win the cash amount, the difference between the price of those cards. It's all about what you yield from the cards. Like, what can they win you? Rather than, if I buy this card now for £5, in a year's time it's going to be worth £30. Because the chances are it's probably not going to be, because it's guaranteed to be a classic card at that point. Yeah, he could be a smasher classic card. I'm not disputing that. But the chances of that happening is relatively low. Now, that's not me saying like you should never buy a card and just... Well, I am. I'm basically saying if you buy a card today, don't expect it to be worth much more tomorrow. Unless there's some mad transfer that makes him amazing. Like... And when I say tomorrow, I mean like next season, when they're classic. Like, very rarely the in-season version is probably going to be worth more than the classic version. You know what I'm saying? So, I wouldn't be focused in on the future too much, mate, if I'm being honest. Hi, Harry. Started watching your content a week ago. Oh, mate, that means the world to me. How did you find me, by the way? If you don't mind. Maybe you can't remember, but if you do remember, that would be interested to know. But yeah, appreciate you watching, mate. Means a lot. So I was in my zone then. I was definitely in my zone. Do you know why there's only 25 rewards unlimited this game week? I think there's only like 6 licensed teams, Pierre, so I think that's the reason why. But yeah, it's a shocking midweek. Don't go preparing for this midweek and expecting anything. But yeah, back to the rant. Like, it's hard for me to say that, like, definitely don't look at any of these as investments. But 2, like, I just don't think you can look at a card and go, yeah, you know what, like, next year this card could be worth more, because it could. If there's a mad transfer, like I said, like something like his situation changes, obviously within that could be he scores better now. But I just don't think you should bank on that necessarily. You should be looking at, like, your cards right now. You have really good in-season Prem cards. You need to make them work. You need to make those cards work for you. Like, win you cash. That is the goal of those cards. Those cards aren't there to be sold for more. Simple as, because they won't be. I can guarantee you that. And that goes for any card that you basically buy on this platform, So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I don't want to say don't ever buy cards and, as like mini investments and you think they're going to go up. I'm not saying don't do that, but also just be cautious, Deal with what you've got right now. Play the game that's in front of you. The game that's in front of you right now is that you have an amazing champ Prem gallery. You do. You've got to make those cards work. You've got to make those Palmers work. Those Amads, the Guardiols. You've even got some, really good challenger cards. I'm not just singling out your Prem stuff, but I know you've been playing Prem longer than the other ones. So it's basically what I'm getting at. So, yeah, rant over. I hope that makes sense. Pierre says Burnley, Celtic, Tigres, for example. Yeah, they're quite big teams, but there's just not enough of those big teams, unfortunately. If there's only 3 of them, it's just not enough to put on big prizes. I basically started playing Sorare and found your Road to Glory on the search. Oh, mate, that's class. I really appreciate that, mate. Farialves? Yeah, am I saying that right? Is there a more pointless notification from Sorare than Cobalt on a clean sheet? That's hilarious. That's really funny. To answer it, though, no, probably not. That's probably the most pointless notification. Okay, Soshix is up next. My question is, what would you do for my gallery for the remainder EU season? Strengthening season further? If so, how? Or start saving funds for next season already? Let's have a look. The remainder EU season. So is that like champion and challenger? Because I know you've got a bit of challenger here. Some good classic cards. Couple of good in-season ones. Some really good in-season forwards. Bless me. Konstantinos, no worries at all, mate. Glad you're in here to witness the rant. But yeah, I just hope it makes sense, mate, and I hope you can take a few bits on board. Because yeah, I obviously want you to succeed. Sorry. And yeah, that's kind of not the root, but definitely the realm of where I'm at with what I said. So yeah, hope it helps, mate. Let's have a look what you got in here then. Trap Rono, okay. Couple of in-season limited, couple of in-season rare keepers as well. Interesting, okay. Yes, Mbappe goal notification. 50% of them get chalked off. There's nothing worse, is it, when a goal of yours gets chalked off on Sorare and you've been given the DA. It's the worst feeling ever. Okay, quite a few good in-season cards in rare and limited. Lots of rare cards. Yeah, I didn't expect that for some reason. Late. Cardona, the boy. Bischoff, love that. Wow, cheap Bischoff as well. Max Arnold, Xavi Simons, Neves Stiller. Okay. Yeah, I think you're pretty balanced across both scarcities, to be honest. Like, without having any of like the smashers. I just feel like the thing that springs to mind for me here, it just seems like you're spread across two scarcities, personally, quite evenly, which makes it a tough decision then on where do I prioritize. Like, do I sell all the limiteds and go rare? Do I sell all the rares and just hammer limited? I'd probably think sell limited and go to the rare with what you've already got. I don't even know if that was a thought process you even considered. Maybe you did. I don't know. I just think like you're just half baked on either side here between rare and limited, and I just think, yeah, it's fun playing limited because obviously you can have more cards, and you've clearly got you got way more cards than you do in than in rare, which I get. But I just think, I don't know. As much as it might be fun, and if you're only playing for fun, not only, but if fun's the main driver, then fine. If fun means having more lineups, then fine. But if you're like a serial win, like you really want to win more than anything else, you don't really care about fun, then I'd be thinking about maybe scooping up one of those, scooping up half those limiteds and turning them into 30 really good rares or 20 good rares or whatever, something like that. That's the first thing that comes to my mind, because you have good cards across both. I just don't know if it'd be worth chopping one of the hands off. Whether that is probably limited, because you have a decent foothold maybe already in the Champ Europe Classic and in season at rare. I don't know. I'm a bit conflicted, to be honest. Yeah, it's a tough one. Honestly, it's a tough one. Honestly, I really don't know. Is my honest answer. How are the results being going? Let's have a look. That's a great start, by the way. Brilliant captain choice. Damsgaard and Ignacio to go. Sergi, there he is. Another great start there as well. Jonathan David with a great score. Bundesliga boys. Yeah, you have some good quality, man. Like you do. Yeah. If you want to scrap what I said with the whole like selling one of the arms, like I do get it. Like I completely get it. But yeah, I think you've got enough quality to get by, though. I don't think you need to be spending too much, if any, and maybe just work on what next year looks like. What can I scoop up between now and the start or the end of this season, going into next year? Honestly, Raul, late stream. But yeah, that was a tough one to answer, to be honest. Apocalypto. Do we think my gallery is in good shape for the rest of the season because I'm saving all my essence and cash rewards for next season? Let's have a look, mate. Let's have a look. Jude, Rafinha, Olise, Vitinha, Karnaseki, Meret, Kavicha. I mean, man, like, you've got some serious quality, haven't you? Real quality. I think your gallery is more than capable of, sort of standing the test of the next 17 weeks, basically, of in-seasonness. And then it's up to you, obviously, what you want to do with them after that. But you've got more than enough quality here. Let's be real. More than enough. I don't know, you've already won a good amount already, so I would just be running them into the ground, mate. I'd be running them into the ground as hard as you can. Jorge, what's happening, mate? Hope you're well, pal. Hope you're well. Okay, Nikolai. Oh, did that one wrong. Nikolai X. There we go. Okay, what strategy should I adapt now? Most of the leagues have 13 to 15 games left. Where I should focus on for Contender and Challenger? Liga MX, Argentina. I'll keep the European to the end. What should I sell on? What should I buy? Is it the right moment to start selling at 70% of purchase prices? So that's kind of what I spoke about earlier, Nikolai. Like the whole 70% thing. The biggest thing you're missing out of that, like that question, that last question is it right? Is it the right moment to start selling at 70% of the purchase price? It all depends on what you've won with them. That is just my answer. It's fine to sell for 70% what you paid for them if you've made 50% of what you paid for them in yield, in cash winnings or card winnings. That justifies selling at like a 30% discount or whatever. That is it. I need to know that information realistically. I guess I could look at, so total gaming yield, 22 quid. I'm seeing here. I'd assume that you haven't won back enough to justify selling cards for 70% of their value to have made like a profit on them. And that's not going to happen for every card, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah, it seems like to me you haven't won enough yet to justify really. I mean, you can sell what you want. Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't, but like, you've only won $22 or £22. I'm seeing here. This could be wrong, but that's just what I'm going off for a £700 gallery. So what's that? 10% is 7 quid. No, 1% would be 7 quid. So you basically won 2% back. This is not me digging you out or anything. I'm just saying, like, you've definitely not won enough yet with what you've got. I would keep going, to be honest. Like, you've got good cards. They just need to work for you. And again, easier said than done. It's easy for me to sit here and say that. But that's ultimately all we can do, is just hope they work, Or you sell up and, you figure something else out. But I would argue whatever's happened so far hasn't worked out. So do with that information what you want. Do you think it's worth selling everything up and having a £500 worth of money and going, okay, I want to go into a different comp, wherever you think, or do you think, what? No, I've got enough to, to get. I'm not saying you're going to make the £700 back or whatever it costs. I don't know, but I don't know. I just think so far you've underperformed. I would argue. Well, I wouldn't even argue. I would say that's probably a fact. It's up to you to decide whether or not you think you can make up a good amount of that in the next 13 to 15 game weeks, or you move on from the challenger lads that you've got, or the European cards that you've got, and move them into other things. But moving them into other things, like, the grass isn't always greener. You might not know those leagues as well, or you're behind on XP, or whatever the answer is. It's a tough one. Like, I don't know what the correct answer is. Like, I don't have a crystal ball. If I could, forecast what you're going to win over these next 15 weeks, then it would make us be in a better position. But ultimately, it doesn't seem like we've won enough so far to justify what you've got. how does that change? You either sell them all up, like I said, or you start winning more. Like, I don't know, I can't really say too much else, honestly. I don't want to say, oh, you should play Liga MX, you should play Argentina, because I don't know if you know those leagues, or I don't know if you care about those leagues. Like that, I don't want to answer questions like that. I can see you have really good cards. So for me, it's a matter of just trying your best to make those work for you. That's all I can really say, honestly. Okay, next up is Peter Smith. How many have you got left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 left. We'll see where we're at in the next 20 minutes or so, because I can't be on live for too long. Other ones I'll have to just maybe voice note or something, or finish off streaming on another day. But we'll see where we're at. So Peter's up next, or Jack. I'm very new to Sorare and have put a lot of focus in on the short term into Challenger. I really like Utrecht as a team and have delved into Club Brugge, Genk and USG in Belgium due to a good run of fixtures since I started. Do you feel funds could be better spent outside of Challenger? Well, if you mean, like, could they be better spent in Champ, for example, then probably not, because Challenger are generally cheaper than Chal on average. So no, I'd probably say what you've got going on there is pretty fine. But like, for example, like you've brought a few Genk guys, but you haven't bought Strukers, for example, like not the best, but one of the best forwards. Like if you're going to dive into some of these teams, you basically have to buy the good players. Otherwise, you're never going to win, really, because everyone else has the good Club Brugge players, or everyone else has the good USG players in the nicest way possible. So, in theory, yes, your money is better spent, but it's better spent in condensing, rather than having players from 5-6 different teams, but not having the really good players from each of those teams. I'm not saying everyone can afford these. I get it. Like, I know these are budget dependent, but if that's the case, just condense down to 1 or 2. And allow yourself to have those smashers. Do you get what I'm saying? And this is coming from like a competitive standpoint, like me saying that. If you're just here for a bit of fun, go do your thing, Obviously, everyone's here for a bit of fun and probably a bit of winning. Like a mixture of both. Some people are higher on the winning scale than others, and some people are higher on the fun side. I get it. But like you have got good cards. Like KM nearly scored 100 today. Great player. Like that, you've got good cards, but you are missing some of like the better cards in that collection, and that's what I would encourage to try and do. Basically, is get the better cards. What's going on, mate? It's not Mordays, is there? What's on? Manoir. I always forget your actual name. It's gonna kill me. I'm blanked. Second question. I also have bought some J League players in the build up to their launch in mid-Feb. However, they're all classic. Would you recommend I cash in on some of them and invest in season? Yeah, maybe, but ultimately, the in-season cards are going to cost way more than the classic ones that you've got, I'd assume. You might be able to make a little bit on them from what you've got so far, potentially. Yeah, you pay £1.50 for Nishikawa. His floor is £2.30. So, yeah, there might be a bit of profit to be had in a couple of these. But, like, Nishikawa in season, for example, if he is going to be a star, is going to be worth, like, 10, 15 quid. You won't be able to just transfer them into an in-season team necessarily. Definitely not 1 for 1. It's more like 1 for 10. Zorgan would be welcome for sure. Jack said, that makes sense. Out of Utrecht, USG, Genk and Club Brugge, where would you say I should cash in? I'd say Utrecht probably have less smashers than the other teams on average. Like Club Brugge have some really good cards, mainstays, De Kuiper, Van Aken, for example. Like we can't Ciolis, like we kind of know there's good cards there. Genk the same, like we kind of know Kayembe, Smets, Stroikers, Tolu, Heynen, like they have a load of good cards. USG, same, they've got that Charles Van Hoot and Ivanovic up front. Like I'd probably chop off Utrecht personally. Mikkel's basically just said what I've what I've said. just Aronson and El Karauni, yeah, 100%, mate. 100%. But yeah, as far as the J League stuff goes, yeah, you could cash in on them, but basically don't expect to be able to buy like an in-season J League team with what you would sell the classics for. Not saying you are expecting that, I'm just sort of saying. Finally, I've bought a player here and there to let me play warm-up in major leagues. I have some Spurs players, as they are my team, however, have little confidence from a Sorare perspective on those bought, and I'm looking to cash in. Where would you say I should be investing into the coming months? I'd probably say Challenger, from what I said in that first question that you asked, Jack. It's basically go get yourself like some of the better Challenger cards, is basically what I'm saying. Yeah, but great questions, mate. I love the wording, and yeah, it makes a lot of sense, and I hope that can kind of kick you on now in Challenger a little bit if you cut off some of those the warm-up cards like the Spurs boys, and maybe the J League ones as well. So yeah, all the best, Jack, and yeah, appreciate your question massively, mate. I really, really do. Come on then, Lucasade 8. With my 600 in the wallet, what would you look to improve? Champion season, rare gallery, expand to Prem, Bundesliga, or wait? Nah, definitely wait, mate. If moving to MLS, who would you look to sell for the current gallery that isn't really needed? Very hard for me to say without, like, I don't know what you don't need is my issue there, but I still think Gakpo needs to go, personally. Like, he's doing really, really well, and that's probably a good time to sell. But if you're playing him in Champ, I just think there's just cheaper versions out there. We've been through that. I don't think you need as many keepers as you already have. I'm sure you have a good amount of keepers where I think I'd maybe chop a couple off. Let's have a look. Diouf, Darman, Baumann, 1, 2. I mean, he's injured. Or maybe you have... Yeah, okay. Now, you've probably got... That's probably enough for now. Berardi, Van Dijk, Reece James, Singo, Klaus. It's probably not enough to bite off there. Bruno. Yeah, all your mids are kind of like... No one's like stupidly priced, which is a good thing if you're looking to sell players. The only one that's basically stupidly priced left in your gallery is Cody Gakpo, mate. That's the only one, Lucas, I would say that you need to get rid of. 100%. Wait for MLS or whatever you want to wait for, but I'm pretty sure it's MLS and kick on from there. No worries at all, Jack. No worries at all. Sad as I really like you, Drake, and the high hopes for Haller, but performances have been poor. Yeah, I think they've overperformed so far this season. I think they were third, weren't they, for a bit? They still might be third, but yeah, I think they definitely have overperformed. Okay, Simplux, what do you think? Where do I need more better players? Which positions do I need more high-scoring players that guarantee me a decisive? There's no player that guarantees a decisive, unfortunately, but I get what you're saying. Focusing on Bundesliga and Champion, a little bit of Contender because Cologne and La Liga. PS, I know I've spent too much money for players, many stupid buys, but you learn from that. 100% you learn from that. 100%. Let me see. So 400 cards, just under £800 worth. You said you're playing Champion and Bundes. Let's see what you've got. Zetner, Leno, Darman, Vasilj, Conde, Diouf, Leon, Dimitrovic, Arrizabalaga. Okay. Some good goalies. Sergi, Molina, Suzo. So from what I'm seeing here, I think you're a bit too spread out, if I'm being honest, across like the Champ / like I think you need to focus in on one. Either focus in on Champ, focus in on Bundesliga, or it could be La Liga, like whatever it is. I think you need to hone in on one of them. And I know you can play all of them in Champ, the three leagues that I've mentioned there, as far as like Bundesliga, La Liga, and Prem goes. But yeah, there's definitely... I just think you are a bit too spread a bit too thin, I would say, especially in Champ here. Like, let me look at your standalone Bundesliga stuff. Like, so Zetner and Darman and Vasilj, fine, and Drewers, but like, okay, you got Eric Dyer. Like, no Bayern players outside of Dyer. No Bayern players again outside of Goretzka. Like, in the nicest way possible, you and Lima, I guess, Kingsley Coman, you're just up against it, If you don't have Wirtz, Musiala, Kimmich, like, you need a little sprinkle of them somewhere. I'm not saying people don't win without them ever, because they do. There's anomalies. But for the most part, you are just up against it with this type of gallery in Bundesliga, honestly. I think I would chop them off and just focus in on Champ or focus in on Might be La Liga that you're a bit more focused in on. Conde, Dimitrovic. Okay, so you've got a couple of good goalies there. A couple of decent defenders. But again, you're probably going to say, well, you don't have any Real Madrid players. And I get it. Like, there is that, element to it as well. But you've still got some really good scorers here, despite not having Madrid boys. But selling those Bundesliga boys might afford you a Rodrigo. It might afford you one Bellingham or whatever it is. Maybe it's not La Liga. Maybe it's just Champ. But I just don't think you're strong enough in Bundesliga to warrant what you've got there necessarily. And as far as Prem goes, Leno, yeah, I'm just not seeing enough. Like, there's just too many cards that just don't do anything. Gibbs, White, Eze, nice. Murphy's decent as well, to be fair. Garner Gay's been good as well. You got a couple of good mids there. You got some good forward as well. You can play them in Champ, obviously, I guess, but playing Prem players in Champ is fine. Like, it's a nice differential in some ways, but if you're looking for like value, the Prem players are always going to be more expensive most of the time, like pound for pound than the Champ equivalent. Sorry. Do we expect Penders to keep his spot? I think we are, Jack. To be honest, yeah, I think we are expecting him to. But I think you should just focus in on one. Basically, is what I'm getting at. Simplex. That's kind of where I'm ended on. Okay, Huffman. How can I improve my lineup? Should I improve or wait until new season? Bath and Hertha squad's untouchable. Let's have a look. Contender. So you got some Bundesliga stuff. A bit more Bundesliga. Tony Fruit getting red carded is annoying. Rijeka. Champion season. I love the Pedri. It's a good lineup there. Unlucky on the Konza. Langer in training. Same for me, to be fair. I had a Langer in training. You've also got a lot of Bundesliga stuff. I think it's very hard to compete in Contender without bits of Celtic and Rangers, ultimately. Now you add a bit of a Liga MX in there. Now you add a bit of Argentina in there. You're going to add Brazil in. I'm not saying you can't just get by with Bundesliga cards. But if you are going to have Bundesliga cards, you need to make sure that they can get decisives, And I know, I mean, it's unlucky, but like not one decisive in that lineup there. And that's on paper, I think, your best lineup. Look, I'm not just, looking at that necessarily. But you know what I mean? Like, there was definitely goals to be had in the Bundesliga 2 this week. And it's like, if you're not getting a few of them in, then you are just going to be up against it, right? Alex is in here. Yeah, right. I get what you want to say. I have to focus more on one or two things. 100%. Too many people in this game just want to play loads of lineups, and then they end up realizing, oh, I'm having a bit more fun in a way because I have loads of lineups, but I'm not winning anything. I've seen it for years and years and years. Instead of condensing down and focusing in tunnel vision on a certain thing, certain strategy, certain lineup, certain collection, whatever it is. And that's why I'm not saying there wasn't other ways for me to get to where I'm at now, but the only reason I'm here right now winning Yamal Super Rares, I know he's in under 23, so it's kind of full circle, but the only reason I've done that is because I tried to become the best under 23 player, like at rare that I could become at the time, 3-4 years ago. I was too stretched out. I was playing a bit of champ, a bit of challenger. I said, fuck this. Let me just go in on one competition that I think I can be better than anyone else at over a consistent basis and win good rewards that can help me in other competitions eventually. Like when Vinny ages out, like when, Pedri ages out or whatever. Like that was my goal. And it got me to where I'm at now, where I can play. I can afford to play champ. I can afford to play chal. I can play all the different, competitions and have more fun because I honed in on a certain strategy and made sure it paid off for ages, and which was under 23. I only branched out up until like 18 months ago, really. Played a bit of champ, chal, like I said. I wasn't doing that. I was fucking all in on under 23. Now, I'm not saying that's going to work for anyone going forward because under 23 isn't as fruitful as it used to be in some ways. So when I say I did under 23, I'm saying for you, if that's Prem, if that's Bundesliga, if that's La Liga, if that's MLS, whatever that league is, fucking make sure you're good at it before thinking about doing anything else. That's the easiest bit of advice I can give you watching this. I'm not trying to come off as big-headed or anything. Like, you know that I'm not that type of guy. You've been watching me long enough to know that. I'm just being honest and telling you my route to how I was able to play all these different competitions. Let me just caveat that and say, like, yeah, I play this game for fun, obviously. But I also play it like I was a serial winner. I am a serial winner in my head. I'm not setting lineups. I'm not waking up at 6 a.m. to lose. Like, I'm doing that to win. You know? Not everyone's going to have that mindset, which I understand. So when I'm saying, like, the whole hone in and win and all that stuff, that might not apply to you because you might be coming at it from the fun aspect, which is completely fine. Which, in a way, I think you should do if you're just playing limited for the most part. Fucking really hard to be good at limited. I'm not even saying I could be good at limited. I mean, you see on my road to glory, I'm not that good. I'm fine, but I'm not that good. It's fucking hard. I'm not saying it's easy. When I started this game, limited didn't even exist, lads. You got to remember that. When I'm saying I played under 23, I was playing under 23 rare. That was the lowest scarcity on the game. Under 23 rare, super rare, unique was the 3. There was no limited, you know. So the landscape's changed. I'm not saying like that you could easily just copy my blueprint and it's fucking going to work for you, because it's probably not, because the game has flipped on its head. Completely different game. But the one thing that stays the same and consistent is honing in on a strategy and don't let go of it until it works. If it doesn't work, then we just have to scrap it. But give it as long as it needs to grow and eventually work for you. That's the best advice I can really give. Nico Williams was in training. That's a gutter. Harry, would you say get rid of the whole Bundesliga and put that money into La Liga or Prem? Would that be a start? I would say put it into Champ, to be honest. Or La Liga. I wouldn't say put it into Prem, honestly, because Prem's a bit too expensive for me. Find what tickles your fancy and tickle away. 100%, Jim. Like I said, everyone gets tickled in different ways. Some people like the armpit, some people like the foot, some people like the back of the leg, whatever. Like, everyone is going to be different. So I'm literally not, I can't sit here and say whatever I did, just copy and you're going to have the same sort of, path. It ain't going to happen. Just not. Timing, there's so many variables, right? But I'm just sort of, the blanket statement is, I think hone in on a strategy and do whatever you can, whether that's get the best collection bonus or, watch lineup building or whatever it is. Like, you've got to put work in. Like in anything in life, you have to put hours in. I've put so many hours into this game over the last 4 years, you don't even want to know. That's the scary thing. Like, people see the end result. People see the lineup and go, wow, he won Super Rare under 23. Or, people don't realize how much hours I put into this game and have put in over the last over 4 years. It's scary, to be honest. So, yeah, but that's the thing. Not everyone's has to be a maniac and do that. I'm a maniac, unfortunately. So I can't change that about myself. And yeah, everyone, like Jim says, just find what tickles your fancy. Simple as. But yeah, Huffman, I went on a bit of a rant there, but ultimately, I would maybe try and explore some better contender options, to improve the contender side of things. If you haven't won enough so far to justify what you've put in. So what we got, £337 total yields, 4%. So I still think there's room for you to win. It's just a case of applying it and obviously getting all your eggs in the right basket in the right week. But you do have some good cards. Like, there is some good cards here that could do a bit of damage. I'd probably focus in on Champ mainly, and then again though, I am coming back to the same thing. Like, I think you could just chop off one of these regions, whether that's Contender, and go harder into Champ. This is like the prime example for me here. Like, you do have a few nice Champ pieces. Could use Pedri in there, Frankowski, Frimpong. Like, you've got a Langa. Like, there's good cards there. And Buemo, probably 1 or 2 teams worth. But if you want to make that 3 and 3 really solid ones, I'd be looking to chop something off. Whether that's a bit of Contender or whatever it is. Unless you can just afford to just put more money in, obviously, then that's kind of where I'm at. Cam said, not sure how many hours I spent on Challenger watch lists. That's funny. Dar Wizzy. Darwizi, I'm thinking to sell all champ and focus on challenger and contender. Just want a little hint of what I should target. Most of challenger is road to glory. So you want to sell all champ. Okay, let me see what your champ looks like. Skorupski, you never know when he's going to play. Bauman's injured, so you basically don't have a keeper. Suzo's decent. Rockeric is injured. Yeah, I'd be... There's not a bar a yellow card chalk. Yeah, there's not enough there, mate, to be honest, quality-wise. Definitely chop off the champ element there. I wouldn't be touching that for sure. Or as in, like, I wouldn't be continuing with that. And then, yeah, let me just check where you're strongest already in Chalo Champ. Verips, okay. You got the Dender boys in there. Connor Robert, Eo Tanaka, okay. And then Contender. What we got going on over there? Okay, so Ozsiak. I think I would sell... I don't know. I'd personally be selling the Contender. Well, I wouldn't play all three. Play one. Either Champ, Chal, or Contender. That's... That again, we're coming back to the same thing as what I always say. If you want to win, basically specialise is what we're getting at. Okay, Cam. Had Quinny say quite a few times, I'm not sure what more I can do with science in my gallery, but I don't seem to be winning rewards. I play for fun and have very little at stake compared to others. But I still want to win now and again. I feel like I have most of the best players in Challenger, but I'm just shit and cursed. Even Boscagli doesn't perform when I buy him. Now injured, unfortunately. I'm seriously close to selling up no matter what strategy I try. What players I buy, nothing seems to stick. For example, I buy Gyökeres, Tillman and Boscagli, all injured. I also buy 2 Veermans, gets benched for 3 or 4 weeks. Pedro Goncalves never looks like he's coming back. Yeah, I mean, a lot of those, mate, is just bad luck. Like, it's just such bad luck having... I know it's easy for me to just put it down to that, but ultimately, it just is. Yeah, it's just fucking really tough luck. And the other thing for me, I think the one thing that maybe you're missing out on a little bit is like fixture planning. Like, I think you've got a lot of the good players in good teams, like your Benficas, PSGs. Like, you've got like the mainstays, but those sort of like, oh well, this guy's got 5 good games coming up type of guy, whether that's Matt Court or, you know, whoever the player is in whatever league it is in Challenger. I think you may be missing out on a few of those that like can plug in. Like, you have Court there, like that was just an example, but I don't know. I just think that element is maybe lacking a little bit. And I've mentioned it slightly to you before in the Discord, but like there's a thing in Sorare that like people buy past scores and they're not necessarily buying future scores. And I think that's one thing that is important to maybe recognize. Like, not saying Joey Veerman's never going to be good again, right? But like, you were thinking, oh, I'm going to have this Veerman, right? When in reality, you've got this Veerman, you know? And like, again, I'm not saying he can never not do this, but yeah, you can kind of get caught up on like thinking, oh well, he should be that, but he's not. And like, this game's unforgiving. It doesn't matter what they were. It matters what they're going to be next weekend and then the fucking weekend after that, you know? And I just think maybe that element of your gallery is kind of missing. I'm not saying you've never bought for fixture. You know, I'm definitely not saying that. But there is also a massive part of just having been fucking really unlucky, mate. Really unlucky to have Boscagli injured, Joey Veerman bench for 4 weeks, Gyökeres injured for... You know, it is just fucking unlucky. Cam said, I tried fixture plan in recent weeks, but realistically, Portland and Sporting have 90% of games are good games. They are, mate, but like, unfortunately, it's not the PSV of old right now. You know, Sporting the same. They keep conceding goals. Like that, like it'll work eventually, but it might be too late, type of thing. Like you've got to be a bit sweet, like a bit, yeah, more cute. Basically, is the word I'm looking for. You got to be cuter in your scouting, I think. Again, it doesn't mean to say it's going to definitely work out, but you know, for example, if I don't know, what Circle of Bruges. I mean, an easy one would be Penders for, not to say like buy him now, but like Genk have had a couple of clean sheets recently, right? I think. Could be wrong. Okay, yeah, 1, 2, but they're winning every game. 1, 2, 3. 3 clean sheets in the last 7 games. Again, it's not going to work every weekend, but things like that, like going, okay, well, Genk have a nice little run coming up. Is it worth me getting a Genk defensive stack? So, like, I'm not saying Genk specifically, but you get what I'm saying, like that type of thing. As soon as I buy them, they're not as of old, and that's what's frustrating. Yeah, no, I agree with you, mate. It is tough. Like it's a tough pill to swallow, mate. Like there's no one correct answer I'm gonna be able to give you. Like it's just you've been fucking really unlucky, mate. Genuinely, you really, really have. So yeah, you've got a decision to make. Do you keep going? Do you knuckle down, or do you sort of pack it in and that's pack that side of it in. I can't tell you what to do like that. That's on you, obviously, as you know. But yeah, it's a tough one, mate. It's a really tough one. But I'm gonna move over to Tom, and Tom says I'm not sure whether I should improve my contender in season lineups. Also looking to get an MLS in season lineup, probably after the first few games are played. What do you think might be a sensible budget? Is that, I guess, limited, mate? It's honestly, Tom, I don't want to tell you budgets right now for MLS. Like nobody knows anything about the MLS right now with budgets. Like genuinely, we don't know the prizes, so there's no way to forecast. Okay, well, Messi should be worth maybe around X because the most you can win is Y. Like we literally have nothing to go off, mate. So we'll have to wait. That question will definitely have to wait for a bit. Looks like you've got a decent amount of keepers there. Have a couple of good defenders. Maybe need a few more. Spolich is leaving to Como, so he's going to be a champ player going forward. Got some really good mids. I really like your midfielders. Forwards are really solid as well. You've got a tab, haven't you? Yeah. Honestly, I don't think I would improve too much, man. I think you've got enough going. I think you've got enough going on here. To be honest, Tom. I wouldn't do anything. I would sit tight for the MLS stuff. When I find out more information, I'll obviously give it to you. And yeah, we can kind of take it from there. Kubasaki, what's happening, mate? Hope you're having a good day. Will MLS have separate? Yeah, I have a separate classic comp. It will. They'll have a separate one. 2 seconds, lads. Just need to go and chat to the wife for literally 2 minutes. I'll be back very, very soon. I'm back. Sorry, lads. Pigeon said, "Is this members only?" It is well, you can watch, but yeah, it is members only as far as galleries go and stuff. Okay, Hatledjun. Let's go. Most likely won't be able to catch the live, so I'll try and get my thoughts down on here. Okay, I've gone balls to the wall in in-season Prem Bundesliga with 6 of 5 collections in each. 6 and 5 collections in each, sorry. Most of them aren't 5% yet, as I want to finish them off during the season using cash and credits I win. My problem is that I'm behind on XP on most of the cards as I bought them after Christmas. The idea behind getting so many collections is that I can not only use them in 9 in-season lineups this season, they will also make good classic base for next season with them being Premier League and Bundesliga. There's also the added trickle-down effect of the fringe moving to worse leagues for sure. You'll notice all my classic cards are already collections, some bad MLS ones plus Miami Rosenberg. After I got rid of every single non-collection card, I just don't think they can compete in the long run, which is fine. Also dipped my toes into under 23, mainly for a bit of fun, buying some long-term under 23 players from big leagues, good transfers, loans, etc. What are your thoughts on my plan? Any critiques or moves that you would to improve it? Also, how would you go about lineup building with less XP cards, stacking differentials? Sorry for the wall of text. No, it's all good, mate. Yeah, the first thing that came to mind when you said like you feel like you're behind on XP and stuff is about you can't stack. Simple as you just can't do it. And I see here you haven't, which is great. Little buy and stack. I know the Neuer one's a killer there, but Salah's a really nice little differential there outside of Kane. Yeah, that's the idea. You have to not stack basically. Or if you do, it can't be a full stack. If you know you're behind on XP. This one was unlucky with the pen, obviously concession and save. But yeah, this is the type of like build you've got to do basically. You've got to split things up. You've got to use random keepers that isn't Neuer. That's where you have to play, which is fun. Like I think that's the best way to build. Like build the best 5. It doesn't matter if they play for the best the same team and it's convenient to stack. Like build lineups on who you think is going to score the most, right? Ultimately. And I think, I think you are kind of there already. Like you are doing that, which is great. And eventually it will pay off. Like that's the only thing I can really say for the most part. There is times where like the 4 stack, like 4 and 1 is going to work better than the 3 and 2. But that's all depending on if you think a double defensive stack is good or you think, the defensive stack's useless actually for that week. I just want to take the midfielder and the forward. You've obviously got the luxury to do that as well. But yeah, I don't necessarily think the whole 5% thing is the issue. It's more they've just had their cards longer, so their card XP are just higher. Naturally, obviously the 5% collection bonus helps with that. But yeah, man, I think you've got the credentials and you've got the ammunition. It's just about shooting in the right direction, right, and shooting in the best sort of targets and hitting the target ultimately. Yeah, I think you've just got to be, in the nicest way possible, a bit patient and just get your builds right. As again, easier said than done, but that's the goal. Don't ever full stack for the most part. Always look for differentials. And yeah, try and get your captaincies right. But like the whole Bayern thing, like for me, I always thought they would concede today. So like having a Rono in there, having a whoever in there that isn't a Bundesliga, that isn't Neuer, would have been the play. I know it's easier said than done because it's happened. But like you having a better keeper here basically means you could have been first. And I know there's loads to play. Do you get what I'm saying? Like that type of thing could have been really valuable for you. So I'm just catching up on the chat. I'll stick with what I've got and hope it comes together now. We can only hope the stars align. I took the niche scouting approach when I first started the game. Yeah, and you've done well with it, Cam. Like you've really learned Challenger. The next thing is apply Challenger and get winning lineups. It takes time, man. It takes a lot of time. Just back from home after a few beers. Love that, Dennis. Nice to see Harry still going strong on the gallery reviews. Love that, Dennis. Hope you had a lovely evening, mate. I bottled using a different goalkeeper and used Neuer, and that one got the clean sheet. Yeah, exactly that. I mean, I didn't expect them to concede that many, but Jesus, I did expect them to concede. I really did. I'm not just saying, oh, look at me, Billy, big bollocks. I guess I guess they concede, but you know what I mean. Okay, Gully FC. The priority is Prem, Bundes, and Champion season. I've invested towards that way. So, how would you go about streamlining the gallery? Maybe more keepers. I want to aim for under 23 victory once this season. I have the cards to compete. I think I just need a little of your magic eyes to tell me any improvements to get me close to the goal. Stars and Stars and cash is what I've invested in for this season. I'm in a good position to perform each game week, so overall my strategy, thoughts on players in and out would be great. Sell a lot of rares to get some super rare champ for next season. Nah, I don't think I wouldn't be shopping in super rare, mate, honestly. I wouldn't be touching in I wouldn't be touching super rare. Don't worry about that. Wow, Mbappe there, that's beautiful. Okay, so the first thing was Prem, Bundesliga and stuff, wasn't it? So let's see what the Prem stuff's saying. Alisson, Raya, Emmy, Bart, Onana, Chelsea stuff, yeah, fine. Hall, Porro, Robinson, Van der Ven, Liverpool boys, the Bradleys, Calafiori, 30s. Yeah, I can get behind the depth you've got there for sure. Like it. Cole, Bruno, yeah, you've got loads of quality here. This is just about application. I don't know why forwards won't come up. You've got the cards, as you know. You've fucking got the cards. I can tell you that for free. You have got the cards in abundance. Let me see what you've got in Bundesliga. How much is this gallery worth? Wow, yeah. Kovan, Nubel, Atibolu. Again, lots of quality, lots of depth. Davis, Grimaldo, Realm. Have you got Upamecano would be a nice addition in here, I think, without seeing him already. Oh, you do have one. Yeah. Love it. Wow. 2 verts. Some serious quality here. Serious quality. Interested to see a yield after this. Wow. Unbelievable. You've literally got everything. I can't really see what you don't have here. And there we go. That's not a bad gaming yield. That doesn't account. I don't know whether that's this. I don't know when that is necessary. That's all time, but I don't know what you've done this year. I'd assume it's been pretty good. Some of the cards you've won here, so yeah, hard for me to say necessarily, but you know what I'm saying. Let me look at your under 23 stuff. I don't think your Prem or Bundesliga stuff needs touching, honestly. Yeah, just catching up. Yeah, I'm as well, Kubasaki, a little bit. Well, he used to play for them. He was there on loan a few years ago. If I'm honest, Harry, I'm a huge Arsenal fan, and most in the Discord know. If challenge doesn't work out, I'll get an in-season Arsenal stack, not thinking too much about it. Yeah. I just think bro has every card literally right. What was I going to say? Let's see what he's got in under 23 first. Bart's off it right now is the issue. So as far as goalkeepers go, you are lacking a goalkeeper. Atabolu scored well today, but outside of him, like Bart's not doing it. Atabolu's fine, but he's not great. You're probably lacking a good under 23 keeper, which is not easy because not many of them are good is the big issue. You've got defenders for days. I'm not really worried about that, really. We know you've got midfielders for days. You've got unbelievable depth in midfield. Cross-referencing the Bundesliga and Prem stuff. And again, for forward, you've got the same. Honestly, mate, it's keepers. Like, actually keepers. Trafford's the one right now who's just printing clean sheets for Burnley, you know? Like, it does pay to have that type of quality when you have the defenders, midfielders, and forwards like you have. So that's kind of what I would do. I would improve your goalkeepers for sure, mate. 100%. Okay, James. Any gaps in my gallery you can see for the last part of the European season, whether that being in Bundes or Contender, or is it oversaturated and should shed some of the weight off? Let's have a look, mate. Let's have a look. Neuer, Kobel, Nubel. Yeah, you've got the keepers, haven't you? You've got the keepers. No stress there. Upa, Grimaldo, Kim, Schlotter, Mittelstadt, Davies. Okay, yeah. You've got the defenders, really, haven't you? There's not much you can really add into there if we're talking Bundesliga. Kimmich versus Musiala. Yes, okay. Again, you've got them all. Bino Gittins, Kane. The only thing I can think of maybe, and it's a bit of a, not a stretch, but like say if you wanted to play Kimmich, Musiala and Wirtz, you can't do that. So you could play Kane obviously, but you know what I'm saying? Like you don't have a forward version of Musiala or Wirtz. That could sometimes not stifle you, but it definitely gives you a different dynamic to be able to play all three of them. Obviously they're both classic Wirtz and Musiala forward cards, but you get what I'm saying? Like you can't necessarily play them all together because they're all mids. That might open up something, but that's me being like quite picky. Outside of that, mate, I just can't see what else you would add into that Bundesliga gallery. Double Schmeichel. Rest of the lads in there as well. You've got the Johnsons, the Trustees, the Quattros, Penrice, yeah. Can't really see what else you'd admit. I mean, you might be a Celtic fan, so me saying buying Tav might be off the cards, but you know, with Tav might not go amiss, like somebody of that quality, potentially like 100 capable, you know, with a decisive type of defender. Doesn't have to be him, but you know, Celtic defenders are obviously great as well. Love the Barco. Obviously the Celtic lads are in there. I'd say maybe there's a little bit of quality missing, a tiny bit with your mids. Like there is some good ones in here, but it does get slim pickings after like the first line. And even then, they're not that amazing. Like, Barco is, but the rest of, like, they're okay. Devlin's been scoring really well. I'll give him that. You've got two of him. Celtic lads are fine, but, like, they're not unbelievable. Hence the L15s of under 60. So, I'd maybe say, yeah, improve the midfielders slightly. Forwards look okay. Fitz might move. Let's hope he doesn't. Is there a few forwards in, like, the Bundesliga too, maybe, that you're missing out on, potentially? Hearts fans have just escaped that Hearts are a tad poor. Just accepted, sorry. That's fine. You've still got some good cut. Like, there's still some good scorers there, but just, you know, not enough of them. That's fine. Is there a few Bundesliga forwards potentially that I'm sort of missing out on? There could be that element of things. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, mate. I don't think you need to do too much, genuinely. And I don't think you need to really shred some weight off either. Was thinking Van Izek. Yeah, 100%. Get yourself a Van Izek. Yeah, no questions asked. Go get yourself a Van Izek. 100%. Okay, Dembois. Big Dennis. Sold all my contender cards as I want to play another competition. What do you think I should do with around €100? I'm really tempted to go MLS in season and start building the Seattle in season stack because I already have them last season. I do remember that. Any other player strategies I should consider? Also playing in season Challenger. Any obvious holes there at the minute? Thanks a lot, Harry. No worries at all, mate. Let me look at Challenger. I don't know if €100 is going to cover a Seattle stack. Like I said, I've said it many times already in this stream. I really don't know what these MLS prices are going to be like. It is so hard to like forecast that. So yeah, like keep it, but don't be surprised if you might need to add a little bit more onto that. I don't know. I really don't. Your Challenger stuff looks good though. You got a lot of good goalies from a variety of different clubs. Defenders very much Eredivisie based, but you know I don't mind that league. So there's always a decent scorer in there somewhere. Big Nick got a goal today, I think he did. Paxton Aaron, some Vlap, Coop Miners. The issue with like playing like I'm not saying you can't win with just Eredivisie guys, but like don't be afraid to like branch out a little bit. I know you have here like Janssen. Like, there's a couple of cards that don't play in the Eredivisie, but yeah, don't be shy. Like shop in Belgium, shop in Portugal. Like don't limit yourself to one league. Even though I've been saying condense, and specialize, but specialize in Challenger, not just Eredivisie, if that makes sense. So yeah, that would be my only thing with the Chal stuff. And with the MLS stuff, just wait. Seattle stack sounds fun. I just don't know how much that's going to cost you, basically, is basically what I'm getting at, mate. So yeah, all the best, mate. I hope you had a really good night. Sorry if that wasn't a really long gallery review, but I don't think we really needed it for that. I think yours was pretty straightforward. English Aussie, sorry. Thinking of consolidating and having a more focused gallery leading into MLS in the next European season. Have finally taken the plunge and moved up to Rare. I'm playing a lot more of a budget RTG style for the rest of the season. My plan is to play Challenger in season and MLS limited in season. This will be my first year playing MLS, so don't want to use all my budget on my limited knowledge, although this Discord has been amazing. I have about £600 to play with. Would you sell up the limited collection in the gallery and add to the kitty, or just continue to use them for a bit of fun next year in Classic? I'm a tragic United supporter. So probably wouldn't sell my United cards. That's fine. Floor hard to low. Let's have a look. Bilal Brahimi, love that, mate. Couple of nice cards there. Let me just go limited and see what you've got going on. So you got the your United cards are basically the most expensive, which is fine. Fine. Yeah, you've got some good classic cards. I don't know whether you should necessarily chop off your limiteds, really. If you think it's going to help you in season stuff, which it should, like adding money to the pot isn't necessarily going to not help, is it? It's just all about weighing up how much will it help and will it deter from me being able to, or my lack of ability to win cards next year. Potentially, that obviously comes into it, maybe. So it's tough. From like an OCD perspective, I probably would just sell them, honestly, and have like a fresh start. I think that can be of value sometimes. So yeah, my probable answer is probably sell them up outside of the United boys and go and play challenge season rare, like you said, in limited MLS and go have a lot of fun doing that. I really do think that could be your avenue, mate, for sure. I really do. Okay, Peter is up next. Last time you looked at my rares, could you please check my limited as well? Any recommendations on how to start winning more than just boxes would be amazing. Ooh, the hardest question in Sorare. How do I win? Let's see what we got going. Greenwood. So you got some nice champ cards here I'm seeing, like limiteds. Let me maybe differentiate it first. Let's just go by limiteds and see where you're strongest. So it's champ, a little bit of chow, a little bit of prem I'm seeing. Some classic champ. I mean, if the goal is to win more than just boxes, I think you've got to condense personally. I think chop off somewhere. Chop off. You've got Club Brugge. Club Brugge are a good team to have. I wouldn't necessarily chop off the Challenger lads, but I would definitely maybe condense. You might be a Chelsea fan, which then you're probably not going to want to sell the Chelsea lads. But I'm basically saying, like, maybe sell some of your classic cards off, or try and raise some funds to improve on some of your in-season lineups. Maybe chop off your contender arm. I don't know what necessarily needs to be chopped off, but I do think something probably does need to give, because you do have some really good champ cards here, like Pulisic, Rulli, Greenwood. There's a nice core. Davis is injured, but like Bischoff, you got some good cards. I just think to have 2 or 3 of those level of lineups, Højbjerg, Beraldi, I think you need to chop something off, basically, is what I'm getting at. I know I've said that a million times. Excuse me, but that's where I'm at with that one. As far as your rares go, okay, so you've got the contender lads mainly. Bit of under 23. Your contenders are all over. Your rares are all over the place a little bit. I haven't, like, there's champ, there's Chal. Yeah, I don't know what's necessarily going on there. I know Lopez is in the season for champs, so maybe you've got a little champs situation going on. Dakovic obviously as well. Okay, so bit of contender, bit of champ. Again though, I still think just condense and just go hard in one. Don't play both half-assed. Play one really well, you know? Hope that makes sense, mate. Okay, AG plays. Around December, I decided to go Bundesliga in season, but since then have been really unsuccessful despite having decent players. I also want to sell all my in-season before their price drop, since I don't want to play Classic next season. Right now, I am planning on selling at least a good chunk of my Bundesliga gallery and going into MLS with a Revolution team. As they are my favourite team and have gone through a big rebuild off-season, this team could be decent. What do you think? I'm not against it, mate. Yeah, the Revs are definitely in a better position than they were last year. Let's just have it right. Langioni, Campana, Gil. There's an attacking stack there in itself. I know you said the Bundesliga stuff haven't necessarily worked out for you, which is fine. Like, it's not going to work out for everyone. It's a lot of luck involved. Like, you're playing at limited. Like, there's so many things that can go wrong, and it's just hard, mate. It's really hard. It really, really is. Like, if it was that easy, everyone would be doing it, right? Yeah, I'm not necessarily against you if that's the way you can afford to get your rev stack in. Then go do it, because I know you can have way more fun doing that, mate. So yeah, that's really, yeah, that would be really important for me to tell you to have more fun. You know, like, ultimately, I know I've been on about winning and stuff, but you know what I mean. Like, to win with your rev stuff would be awesome. So yeah, I would definitely chop off your Bundesliga if you're not enjoying it, if you're not winning as much as you want to. chop it off and go play revs. Like I'm all for that. I think that's a really good thing to do for you specifically, with your ties to the revs and stuff. So yeah, all for that, mate. All for that. We're nearly done, lads. We're doing pretty well here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 left. We nearly got this. Okay. Mohammed said he totally forgot about this. That's okay. I'm so bored with Champ. I can't compete with the XP already. So far ahead of me. And I'm really loving the MLS. Can't wait for it. Should I sell all Champ, maybe some Challenger Contender, Benfica Sported, and have a treasure chest for the MLS and destroy the competition with early XP? My idea is to buy probably 3 rare and 3 limited teams, extra bangers. Maybe dip my toes into Asia. Don't know yet. Also, any and all comment criticism is allowed. Thank you, Harry. No criticism, mate. Yeah, I mean, if you're not having fun with Champ, mate, like I just said with AG with his Bundesliga stuff, then don't feel forced to play it just because other people play it and maybe have success or whatever. Like, don't play it if you don't want to. Like, I would never tell someone just to play it for the sake of it. Your heart's got to be in it, at the end of the day, or in that comp. And if it's not, then obviously, we need to make some adjustments. Did you start playing Champ Rare? Did you? Yeah, you did. Batala, sorry. Yeah, a bit of, obviously a lot of Champ limited stuff. Yeah, mate, if that's going to make you, feel more comfortable, because I know you know the MLS well. A lot of people are in this similar boat now. They want to sell up and they want to go towards the MLS. Like I said, the grass isn't always greener, but I know you've already played the MLS, so you know what to expect for the most part. So yeah, I'm not saying that's going to be a bad thing for you. And like I said, yeah, if you feel like you're behind, if you're not enjoying it, then you've already answered your own question personally. I think you go. Mohammed's lurking as always. Love it. Yeah, I just think I think you've already made your mind up, to be honest. It sounds like to me. Yeah, as far as like the destroy the competition with the early XP, I don't think necessarily you're just gonna necessarily destroy it because of that. Like, you're gonna like you've already mentioned there with the extra bangers type of thing, like having the Seattle defensive stack with Messi and whoever, right? Like that's where you're gonna win most of the things, I think. You said you might dip your toes in Asia. See how much the MLS lineups cost you, and then maybe move to there. But I know you like a bit of Asia. Like, you've played all sections of this game. I'm not here to tell you that to not play Asia, but don't let it deter. Like, don't let the Asia thing like affect your MLS ability to buy. Basically, is what I'm getting at. So yeah, hope that makes sense, mate. And yeah, I'm buzzing to see who you end up buying for the MLS. Really excited. Adriano, which Champ Rare forward should I get next in La Liga and Premier League? Budget €500 in season, I guess, Adriano. Champ forward. Let me see who you already have. Sorry. Scarcity rare. Position forward. Champ. Who do you have? Kubo, Correa, Son, Dembele. You have Mbappé, Darwin, Salah, Nunes. I'm guessing in season, Adriano, right? Ryan says, I wonder how much the MLS prize pool will impact. How will it impact Champ prices? What you think, like, people might sell the Champ cards for MLS? Is that what you're getting at, right? Have you seen the message Willock received after the game today? Shocking. No, I didn't see that. Willock, like Newcastle Willock. Joe Willock, yeah? No, I've not seen that, mate. I've not seen that. Yeah, well, I'm guessing in season. So let's have a look. I mean, if I was to build a 2 Bundesliga team in season rare for £200, how would you build it? Leo, my Bundesliga 2 knowledge isn't like incredible, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. All I know is there's a lot of goals in that league. There's a lot of high scoring midfielders like Van de Zek, for example. I think you're handicapping yourself by playing a defensive stack from Bundesliga 2 because they normally always concede for the most part. Like, there's nobody in that league just prints clean sheets like Burnley do in Challenger, for example. Why should you just buy a team from the same, like the whole same league? Because you're in Contender. You're up against Celtic defensive stacks. They keep clean sheets every week. So what's the point? Do you get what I'm saying? In the nicest way possible. What I'm getting at is buy some Bundesliga 2 midfielders and forwards maybe. But as far as the defenders and goalkeepers go, shop elsewhere. Go to Argentina. Go to Brazil. Go to Mexico. Go to Celtic. Whoever that is. Barco to Strasbourg. I did see that, Mojo. I did see that actually. Yeah, interesting. Joe Rillick received racist message. Ah, sad. Honestly, people who send abusive messages, never mind fucking racist messages, like, what fucking world are we living in, lads? It's just embarrassing, isn't it? Like, how people have the audacity to do that. Like, it's just mad. Like, I don't know, the hatred you must have in your body to want to go and send Joe Willock a fucking racist message. You've just got to be off your rocker. You've just got to be mental. I'm sorry, but it's just bonkers, honestly. Makes me so sad. So sad. As far as, champ forwards go, I mean, it's hard to look past Rodrigo, if we're being completely honest. Rafinha the same, but I think his in-season might be a bit too expensive. If we're talking in-season, I don't know if we are. Leo, no worries at all, mate. I'm glad that helps somewhat. I mean, it's very hard to see past Rodrigo right now, honestly. It's very, very hard for me to see past Rodrigo. It's Rodrigo or Rafinha, realistically. Rafinha might be a bit too expensive, like I said, for the in-season, so we're back to Rodrigo. Yeah, I've not seen anyone else here that compares. 100%. Okay, Momo. This season has been a great experience for me. It's been all about exploring different competitions to see where I feel most comfortable. So for the next season, I can compete from start to finish. Love it. Challenger stands out for me as the best option, followed by La Liga and under 23 is definitely a fun comp. Only sad thing is there is no guarantee for keepers having clean sheets. Momo knows. Momo knows because it's almost impossible to get. 100%. As for Champ, I have a better idea of who to invest in for next season. PSG is a great team, but the constant rotations is a deal breaker. Exactly that. That said, I've still had some success, so it hasn't been all bad, for sure. I'm considering selling my gallery. Two heavy hitters are included as well to increase my budget for MLS this season, but I might keep them. Which teams or top tier players would you recommend I look at? I'm open to any suggestions. Again, I have no regrets about it. I already knew what I signed up for, and this by far my getaway, so I'm good. Sounds good, mate. Sounds good. Yeah, you've definitely learned a lot. I can tell, like, from some of the transitions you've made already this season, Mojo. That you've definitely experienced certain leagues and teams and leagues you don't like, and some you have. I mean, Champ right here is where you should, because you say here, do you want to keep, right? But I might keep them. Which top tier? I'm considering selling my gallery to heavy hitters. Like, are you saying, like, you want to sell your heavy hitters as well? If that makes sense? Or are you saying, like, you want to sell your gallery but keep the heavy hitters? Sorry if I'm just getting confused. Maybe I'm just getting tired. But, yeah, I don't necessarily know, what that means. So please do just try and clear that up for me. But you've got some wicked Champ cards, as I can see here. Excuse me. Jacob Briam, love it. Saibari. Yeah, you have some top quality cards between Chal and Champ. You basically saying, like, who to get rid of? Oh, you're saying, yeah. I mean, I think you could get by with Rafinha, Jude, Andre Santos. I mean, I wouldn't want to get rid of any of these, really. But, like, there's 3 mids that you can't play them all in one lineup. You could, obviously, over two lineups, you'd want to keep Vitinha, Andre, Dembele, Jude, Rafinha, 100%. You want to keep Cherki, especially if he goes to Dortmund. He could light it up over there, I think. Wojciech's a bit dodgy for me. I don't know. I just think he's old and whatever. De Gea I like. Tillman's injured, really tough. Murillo's been amazing recently. The PSV boys, like, it just depends, like, I think you either play Champ or you play Chal. I don't think you should play both. Not to say you couldn't have success in both, but if you want to chop something off to play MLS, something has to give. I'd probably say your champ stuff's a little bit better than your challenger stuff, even though your chal stuff is really good with PSV. I'd maybe look to maybe sell the chal stuff and see what that comes to as far as like how does that help you with MLS type of thing. I might sell the heavy hitters as well as you might sell them all. Well, I mean you can, like if you want, you're obviously gonna have you'll get a hefty balance for or a hefty amount for them. If you sell all these. It's up to you. It just depends on how much you care for the MLS. Really, like I don't think it's for everyone. Like selling them up and going to play that. Like, do you even care about the MLS? Like, just because a lot of people are doing it, I'm not saying you're following like a bandwagon, jumping on a bandwagon for no reason. But just because people are saying they're doing it, I don't think that necessarily means it's the road to glory. If that makes sense, you have some wicked cards here. Like these are the cards that will win a champion division at some point. It just depends if you want to keep them or not, and get lucky. That's kind of where I'm at there. Like, don't feel forced to play the MLS. Is basically what I'm getting at. Okay, Pierre's back. Thank you so much, mate, for becoming a member again. I think my gallery is solid. Could maybe use some advice on best time to sell certain teams and some advice on which MLS players to get in when the in-season cards drop. So as far as like selling, like when to sell a team or like a set of teams, I think it's tough to do that with like the mainstay boys who have good fixtures every week, basically with like Bayern, Real Madrid. But there's certain teams, for example, like let's say, I was going to say Newcastle, but maybe not. Someone like Marseille, maybe. Like they don't have a good matchup every week, where like most of the teams above we've just scrolled past basically do. Like Celtic, like there's never a good time to sell Celtic cards. Like they always have a good matchup. It doesn't mean they're going to score well every week, but I think you get kind of what I'm saying. So yeah, basically what I'm getting at is all the players I've scrolled past so far, they're all like playing on elite teams. So it's very hard to say, oh well, they've got 5 shit fixtures coming up, because they don't. Nobody has 5 bad fixtures coming up. If you're playing for like one of those teams, they can obviously get better and worse. Like there's going to be levels to it. And it's never always going to be an amazing fixture, obviously. So it's quite hard to give you an answer on that specifically. But like I go to Joey Veerman. Let's see what PSV's fixtures are like, in the next couple. So Joey Veerman, for example. So Willem 2 next game, great. Utrecht at home, fine. Go ahead away, fine. Herenveen at home, good. Warwick away. Then you're back to like, Ajax. Like they all, like every other game is going to be a decent game. And there's not even that much left to the season. So it's one of them, mate. And it goes back to what I said before with somebody, Pierre. I said, like, it depends what you've won with them. Like, if you bought Pedri for 60 quid and his floor's 40, well, have you won 30 quid with him? If you have, then you've won with that Pedri, even if you were to sell him for less. That's kind of, that's me trying to answer the whole, like, when is the best time to sell. The best time to sell is when there's not many good matchups to come. But the issue is, with the level of cards you have, they always kind of have good matchups. So it's actually a really tough one to answer there. And then some advice on MLS players to get when the in-season cards drop. I don't know whether you've been watching the whole stream. If you've not, then that's fine. But I've mentioned them throughout. Like I think Seattle will be good. Columbus, Inter Miami, LA Galaxy. I think Atlanta could be sneaky. I think Atlanta could be really sneaky. Outside of that, I think I blanked on it earlier, but I like Cincinnati's attacking stack with like Oriano and Denki, for example. I really like Seattle's defensive stack, even though they'll have good forwards as well, good mid with Rusnak, for example. So yeah, those are the teams I'm mainly high on. Seattle, Atlanta, obviously the Inter Miami, LA Galaxy, LAFC will always be relatively good. And then I said Atlanta. That's kind of where I'm at with that. Hope that makes sense, mate. And welcome back. He's back. Okay, Jojo. Just a general review. Maybe give me some direction, as I'm all over the place. I was thinking of maybe trimming down a bit and getting more higher tier players. Just your general thoughts. No worries, mate. No worries. I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do for you, mate. So, what we got? Cherkeys. We got a lot of classic stuff. Bits of in-season. But I'm seeing all over. There's different leagues. Like you're playing everything, basically, is what I'm seeing here. £1,000 gallery. Like it's tough because I'm going to assume you play a lot of different comps and it's fun. Yeah, you've got a lot of comps going on here, and there's a lot of sweats to be had. Like, I get it. It's a lot of fun having a lot of lineups to go out. But like what you're saying is, could you maybe condense that and have less fun as far as like how many lineups you got going out, but more fun in the sense of like your teams are really competing, I was just going to go to your collection bonuses and see what you got going on. So you got the Midtjylland boys, Hertha 4% last year, Groningen. So one thing I'm seeing here, like, Brighton, new team, Hertha like 2024, Groningen the same. You don't have many collections at high XP for like 2024 teams. And I'm not saying that like worries me to the degree where like I think you shouldn't be playing them, but it does mean that it is going to be tough for you to compete overall, even if you don't like fully stack. Like I think if you were to maybe hone in on, I don't know who you have the most cards for there, but there's like a decent team. Like Groningen they're okay, but they're not great. Brighton have had a stinker this year, so it's really hard to get behind them. Hertha are okay. The Earthquakes, Dortmund, again, Dortmund haven't been good, have they really? Have you bought a few new River cards maybe? Oh, that's last year's River cards, is it? What I'm getting at is I just don't think there's enough XP at limited here for you to really impact the leaderboards. I'm not saying it's the be all or end all, but I just do worry a little bit there that you don't have enough enough big collections to get you through, because you're up against people with like 5% collection, maxed out cards. Like it's really tough to compete, especially at limited, more so than anywhere else, because there's so many cards. Have you thought about like chopping off an arm, whether that's a challenger arm, whether that's a contender arm? Like you've got 97 cards here, but that might be including limiteds. Yeah, like have you ever thought about chopping off maybe contender and going, okay, I'm going to chop off contender, but it's going to allow me to make my champ better, for example? That's kind of where I think I'd be looking. Like where am I strongest already? Okay, let's identify that. Is that champ? Probably, from what I'm seeing here, you got some good cards. Like you haven't got like your Kimmiches and stuff, obviously, but you've got the next sort of tier down in champ anyway. I go to challenger and I go, okay, you got two really good goalies there. Never mind the the classic versions. Good again. Decent enough. Simsio, when he comes back, should be decent for the Midtjylland boys. Yeah, I think you're okay in challenger probably. Challenger and champ, you look fine. I just think, could it be worth chopping off what you have in contender? It's not a ton. Like Nijpen's a baller, but maybe play him in under 23 if you play that. Shaqiri's really good. Like I'm not going to dispute that. Same for Cuisance. Isaac Guy's a good player as well. Like, I'm not saying you have rubbish here, because you clearly don't. You have decent cards, but to just level you up in one of the other two, could it be worth chopping off an arm, basically, is what I'm getting at. Cyber says, just a question, do you think it's a good or bad idea to target the K-League special if my gallery is almost only contender? Like, if your gallery's mainly K-League, then yeah. But just because it's contender doesn't mean you could enter the K-League comp. Obviously, you're going to need K-League cards. I'm sure you know that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the K-League special is. I honestly, as in like I've not seen it. If you have K-League card, basically, yeah, you be at a disadvantage to not play it. Jojo said that's fair. Yeah, mate, honestly, you're going to learn a ton from being in the Discord, though, just as a bit of a side note. But I've got my tea ready, lads. I've been going for 2 hours 46. It's been a good one, though. We've got through it in decent time. But yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure, lads. I do need to shoot off, though, because I need to cook some chicken. I'm absolutely Hank Marvin. Thank you so much to Pierre and Jojo for joining the member section. Thank you to obviously everyone else that are already members and obviously got their reviews today. And yeah, more success and yeah, hopefully we can kick on as a little group on Discord and YouTube, and yeah, hopefully a lot more wins for us in the future. I appreciate you all massively. Good luck this weekend for the remainder of what's left, Sunday and a bit of Monday. And I shall catch you probably, Monday at some point. Yeah, all the best, lads.